What a horrible night to have a curse, y'all.
You can't just say, what a horrible night before we start the game.
No, I finished the saying.
You did. I felt like it was pulled. It was strained. It came at labor from you.
What a horrible night.
To have a curse. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to Jacqueline, because we swapped over. We must have.
Swap.
Right? Yeah, yay! Welcome to Jacqueline Hair. My name is Michael. I'm running this particular one.
Just thought what would be really funny if I say that we swap over and then I didn't, and then you started, and then I swapped over.
Right? Yeah, the
hilarious.
one time, the one time I deigned to take initiative. This is Symphony of Sorrow, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons Curse of Strahd campaign. It's full of funny vampires and not so funny vampires. We've only met one vampire, well, 2. One of them was kind of funny and the other one was kind of a prick. Well, we met a few. Hold on. Never mind. That's spoilers. Anyway, you figured out the whole shit with What's-Her-Nuts at the falls anyway.
Yeah!
Yeah, you figured it out. Good job for you.
Are you going to tell us why Bar got inspiration last session?
When it comes
find
up.
out.
Damn it. Bar, do you know?
No.
I said so much shit that I don't even know.
Damn it.
Michael told me I was allowed to guess, and they'll tell me if I'm right. But
then I realized
lied to
halfway
me.
through. The guessing that like, ooh, if I say what you were right about, then that means that you're wrong about everything else. So I didn't want to inadvertently be spoilery.
It's a whole
Bullshit. This is bullshit.
roundabout way.
Sorry.
Say Barb was right about something.
Game theorying?
Yeah, just spitting shit out. But
I
anyway,
just say random shit during the
Spitting
games and then I
facts.
get them right.
Hey Bar, you should send that list to me and I'll co-conspire with you.
I swear to God, it's like you throw
I
enough
was
spaghetti.
told not to, so
If you throw enough spaghetti at the wall, eventually it's gonna stick. So this is our Curse of Strahd game. Curse of Strahd.
Only if
That
it's
wasn't a
cooked.
hint,
Only if it's cooked.
or if you throw it hard enough.
Not cooked enough spaghetti would stick.
What?
It gets sticky, like slimy.
Whatever.
Have you ever had
nerd.
like a pretty uncooked noodle?
Yeah, it's called al dente and it sucks.
I like al dente.
I
I
can't
thought al
stand
dente
al
was
dente.
what it's supposed to be.
No.
It's what it's supposed to be, but
I don't know anything. I just
want it
put
squishy.
noodles in the pot, and when I think they're done, they're done.
So salt or
That's
water?
basically it.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you put oil in the water?
yeah.
You don't put oil in the water
Why?
because you put oil on the noodles afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, well, am
Put
I
oil in
Italian?
the water.
No.
You put butter in the water?
It's oil in the water.
No.
Good, because you only do that with rice. Anyway, Curse
I
of
don't like
Strahd.
this testing my food skills.
Curse of Strahd is a pretty rough game sometimes. Lot of mature themes, including but not limited to child abuse, cannibalism,
That's strong.
gaslighting, etc.
Strahd simping.
Oh yeah,
Strimping, yes.
Jesse and I decided that Strahd's a big simp. Like the
Strahd
simp,
is not a simp. He gets whatever he wants,
but
my
he's
guy.
the simp that retaliates after he doesn't get what he wants.
So he's a quote unquote nice guy.
A yandere.
Yeah, so he's an abusive partner. That's the whole point. Anyway,
He's
but
a piece of shit.
But anyway, we are going to be using safety tools, X cards, and lines and veils and the like. I have lists of all of the lines to not cross from all of our players, but things might come up at certain points in the game. I will try to give as many warnings as I possibly can without spoiling absolutely everything when it comes up. But in the event that anything reaches triggered territory, we might take a break, we might come back, etc. This is an attempt at a safe space for this particular game. I can't see what's happening in the chat because I have the Twitch chat pulled up. Oh no. Anyway, with all that said, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Who wants to tell me? Why don't y'all tell me what happened last week?
we got dragged to go talk to the Baron.
Oh yeah, we had a party with the Baron.
but before that, we were dragged through the rain, and we saw after we got to said it was a manor, correct?
Yeah.
The Burgomaster's Manor.
The Burger King's master.
The dude, Markiplier, the dude that was escorting us, like, took off his cloak and he had, like, a fucking crazy monster arm.
Yes, the hand that he jerks off with.
Yeah. It's like Nightmare from Soul Calibur.
It's one of those elite zombos from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Isn't there
like
one that has the really
charger?
big arm?
Charger,
Yeah.
So
Why do I know that? I played too much Left 4 Dead.
He's got some shitty patchwork arm going on, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?" And then like
And we're all like,
the lady who took our coat was like, "Don't ask him about his arm. He'll flip."
Probably because he's never had an arm before,
Yeah.
and he one day woke up with an arm.
Exactly. And
That's fucking
everyone was
wild.
like, "Cool, Strahd. Thanks."
Yeah, the story was he was a boy, he was attacked by wolves and lost an arm. Many years passed, and then suddenly he had a new arm.
Soon that arm's just gonna turn into more wolves. Just a wolf arm.
Jesus
There's
Christ.
2 wolves inside of you. One's your arm.
And
That's Helsing. That's just Helsing.
very Helsing. We were brought to a parlor, and everyone kind of talked for a bit, and then Luke was like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna go snoop." And then he got pulled into like a Karen
Knitting
sewing, knitting circle, and he found out. He met the burgomaster's wife, who is also Mr. Priestman's sister, and they're not too fond about religion, but yet they still have this idea about bringing sun back to the valley and all this malarkey. And I'm sure she'd probably tried to sell me some sort of like health food products, but I said no.
he's selling essential oils.
Yeah, and Luke finally decided to go to the bathroom, but then he also decided to listen in on the Baron. And there was a woman who was crying about, was it 1 son or 2?
One.
About her kid going missing, and then like
It sounded more like her son was
taken,
imprisoned.
like he was
He's
taken,
imprisoned.
imprisoned, and he was like, "Oh well, depending if you come to the festival, you might hear from him or me. Now get the fuck out." And you like my Markiplier Warp Stash impression? And then they left, and Luke remembered that she goes to the church. And was like, "I will do that quest
Stick a
marker
pin on that.
later."
Stick a pin on that.
And then went back to everybody else.
I think that, and basically like he was talking about how when he actually got to talking to us, he was talking about how much he wants this festival to go down like it wants to go down like a legend with this fucking festival.
He wants it to be an absolute raver with
he
nothing fun.
He wants
happening.
everything to be extremely fun, but it turns out he has terrible ideas.
None of them are fun.
He's
None-
gonna make a Wicker Man.
He also talked
But Riley
about
got Genki.
yeah,
It's gonna
'cause-
be midsummer.
yeah, it's midsummer. He was talking about
I
how
haven't seen Midsummer yet.
Really?
I haven't
Stop.
either. I just watched videos
So
about it.
good.
But he was talking about how it's like, God, if only like everyone could be happy. Like, fuck those orphans. They can't even be happy once. Which was
Yeah.
really shitty of him to
So
say.
annoying. I wish we just
There's
And
such
Mordecai
a
was
fucking
like-
downer.
Like, God, if they weren't such a big old bummer, my festival would be so much better. And admittedly, that was a shitty thing to say, and Riley got a little upsetty spaghetti. Luke took him out, but Cassia and Mordecai stayed behind to give him some quote-unquote good ideas, which he...
I wouldn't even say quote unquote. They were good ideas.
They were
They
good
were good
ideas,
ideas. He just
but-
ignored half of what we
They were
said.
He
good
didn't like
ideas,
good ideas.
But once he got his shitty cis white
Capitalism
male
got
hands
goggles
on him,
on.
he made
He
it.
wouldn't listen to the manlet or the MILF, so our options are exhausted.
He was making them worse, but he has more ideas, as in make it an all day affair.
And we also convinced him to let Rictavio participate.
Yes.
And I made him mad. Which was
Yes,
great.
and then Mordecai had to be like, oh no, you're so sexy. Oh my god.
But you're like,
You're totally not boring.
so like, you're so cool.
But Mordecai and Cassia were under the impression that the brothers would be back, and they never returned. So they were stuck for about a couple hours entertaining this man through some piss vinegar wine.
Oh yes, it was awful.
And cigars.
And by the time he got bored of hearing his own voice, it's a while, Cassia and Mordecai left wanting death and went straight to drinking at the bar, where they got to taste the real stuff
Yes.
that wasn't
bartender's a
expired or fucking stale as all shit.
We fucking love him. So then they come back and while Mordecai and Cassie are like wine drunk, just bitching. We're broody.
Before that, Luke and Riley talked while they were outside. They had a bit of a interesting conversation that had to deal with people being empty in this place, and that's weird.
Riley said it's not the orphans' fault for being a bummer because they're empty.
Yeah. And that kind of led into a conversation back and forth, and it eventually opened up to the grave digger that is dying from a similar ailment to what killed Luke's parents. So Luke was like, "Give me that book that you were doing research with," and then they went back. So that's what Cassia and Mordecai encountered.
The next day, right?
Yeah.
We split our attentions. Cassia and Mordecai decided to investigate the lake. To
We picked up our new son.
Yeah, we picked up our new child and took him back to the scene of the crime to relive his trauma and maybe figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Also, Mordecai packed his bags.
What you guys learned previously was that the girl had gone to the lake seemingly knowing that her fate was going to be go tits up.
Kidnapped.
Yeah, like she said, I know I'm not going to see you again or something like that.
For a while.
For a while, and so she knew something was up, and the next thing the kid knows, bitch is gone.
Yeah.
Which gave Mordecai and Cassie a reason to go to the lake, whereas Luke and Riley went to the orphanage to investigate essentially what happened to the gravedigger, which we discovered that he is ill because of some sort of curse or some sort of magical item, essentially.
There's fiend magic cursing an item.
Yeah. So we know it's in the vicinity of the orphanage, we just have to find it. And then perhaps once we find it, we'll be able to create some sort of cure. Whereas Cassia and Mordecai went to the lake and saw Bluto, Goofy's enemy. Because that's his name.
More of a fish man.
No, hold on, no. That's Popeye's enemy.
Oh, yeah.
Goofy's enemy is Phil.
I was like, Pluto the dog?
Yeah,
No.
he and that dog fucking hate each other.
That guy was on the lake.
He was just like, we would try to get his attention. All he did was stare at us, and then went back to fishing because
He
man's got a
waved.
fish.
Man's got a fish.
He was like,
And then
"Up-de-doo."
Cassie and Mordecai were like, well, fuck, that's a dead end.
And then
Mordecai did speak with Bird, and Cassie was like, I'm gonna go fucking dig in his house.
Yeah, Bird gave me lots of good information, so I tossed the coin to my local Raven. Raven was like, I saw a guy,
who comes
and
here all the
Mordecai
time.
was like, he comes here all the time, and Mordecai was like, that guy, and Bird was like,
No?
you know what? Actually, yeah. And Mordecai was like, okay,
And right when he looks, this motherfucker is pulling up a bag.
A people-sized
like
bag.
hefting
A
a
fucking
potato
burlap
sack, a
sack.
wiggling burlap sack into the lake.
And
Well-
just fucking whoop. And then he went right back to fishing.
So Mordecai dropped into a sprint.
Jumped into the water.
Meanwhile,
Jumped in
Cassie
the water.
failed her perception and just like pretty much only saw Mordecai doing a dead sprint to the water.
Because, a man's got a fish.
Love my wife.
And then I think the only other thing that was found out on the other side is that Luke went to go inspect the gravedigger himself, and he found that there was an etching on his headboard that was it was like modified from I believe the goddess of the night or the deity of darkness or something like that, Mother Night, and that wasn't the cause of the energy, but it definitely boded issue. And then Luke tried to give him some sort of reprieve, and then he had an awful flashback to his childhood because it sucked. That's where we left off.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
That is exactly where we left off. Thank you very much. Everybody, please grab a point of inspiration if you do not already have 3.
Well, thank God I
have
use
5 at
mine
this
every
point.
session.
No.
I would have 5 at this point, but Michael is mean to me.
I'm sorry, you're just
fucking
so
use 'em.
stingy.
Well, you were giving me a special inspiration and told me no.
Well, maybe if you use all 3, then I'll give you another one tonight. Find an excuse. Anyway,
We're about to have one.
yeah.
Yeah, correct.
I wonder where we should start.
Probably at the wriggling body.
Probably the
No.
probably the
I got
dragon.
other shit going on though.
Flip a coin.
How about like a 25
Decide
minute
your fate
cutscene
like
though?
that,
Hey, do what I did Friday night. Literally flip a coin.
and decide fate.
And then cut off
Oh,
your
did I
head.
not tell you that part?
I haven't gotten to watch it yet, and I'm deeply upset at everything I'm learning.
I literally had
Anyway.
Wiley flip his coin, the poker chip, and then I flipped the coin in Google. But anyway.
Don't worry, Michael. Jay tried to be good still.
I leave for one fucking night. Anyway, yes,
this
we are
has
going
been a
to.
progression.
We are going to. It's been a regression. Legzarovich, no longer the black mirror shine that it was. Now that quite a few disruptions have hit the water. The first one being a rather large wriggling burlap sack carelessly tossed into the water, and the second being Mordecai as he rushed along the dock and dove in head first. Cassia, you witnessed this happen, maybe not even realizing exactly why Mordecai is rushing out there, but knowing that it must be for a very good reason. As Bluto just kind of sits on the lake, continuing to fish, not really paying any attention to the fact that somebody is swimming toward him. At this point, Mordecai, I would like you to roll me an athletics check.
Thank God I have a
Told you it was
thing.
athletics.
12. I think I might.
Spend it. Just spend it.
Michael just gave you a poker face.
Good poker face, by the way.
Okay. Mordecai, you rush through the water as much as you can. Where did Mordecai learn to swim?
I'm assuming in their travels they probably ended up at like lakes or something.
Probably, yeah.
The little bit of fun Mordecai would have would probably be swimming
Right.
or learning to.
The water is freezing cold, first of all. And the weight of your cloak, your weapons, everything dragging against you as you hand over hand tear through the water as quickly as you possibly can. Fuck, he got out there a really long way before he decided to anchor and cast off. But as you continue, eventually you make it to the point that the water is incredibly dark. Not just because of the lack of light, but because of the fact that the water itself is just so murky. What are you doing to try to find what has fallen?
You have magic, don't you?
Not that kind.
But level 3 rangers have some druidic magic.
Yeah, but not that kind.
No.
I have protection from evil, good, and snaring strike, slayer's prey, and speak with animals. I'm gonna cast speak with animals and see if I can understand fish. Because fish, when something comes near a fish, they go whoop. They'll be like something, like
Oh, fuck!
they would mentally be like something here, something here, something here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try
casting
to use
time in
that.
action, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Burn the spell slot, first of all.
Yep.
As you are swimming and maybe you reach near where Bluto's boat was and just dive. And you hear you hear roll me a D100.
You're like, what the fuck do fish sound like?
They sound like Bluto. He's actually a pile of fishes.
What? Oh, it's /R.
Blub blub. Blub blub.
You hear 85 voices.
No. You hear a couple of very small voices going, what? And then scattering. It gives you just enough information that you know that this is sinking fast.
Uh-oh, Sinky.
And you can adjust your trajectory as such. Roll me a perception check with advantage.
Okay. I was gonna say he'll probably clip his cloak, and so it'll like float up.
Okay.
19.
With the sort of information that you get from those few voices that you managed to hear under the water, you adjust yourself and just kind of shoot down. Unclipping your cloak helps, as you can actually see this parcel kind of drifting down into the darkness. What do you do?
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, you're gonna grab it and try to make it to the surface.
What else do I have to do?
You push it down faster. Anyway,
Mordecai's like, I got you, Bluto.
Stinky!
You're like, just grab a rock and put it on top of it.
Here you go.
I mean, but anyway, yes,
Wiley's accident.
you get down there and you just kind of wrap both arms around it as tight as you can, and as you do, you can feel like there's a person in here. And you kick up, quick as you might, to get back to the surface, while holding on to this package, this form. And eventually you do make it to the surface itself. This kind of just sodden package weighed down with water. What are you doing?
Mordecai is going to try and
Open it. Yeah, wrench it open.
Like, as he can keep himself floating for a while. So he's probably heaving and frantically trying to open this.
Mm-hmm. How are you going about opening it? Just like tearing into it, trying to?
I don't have a knife necessarily, but
you don't have a dagger?
I do not.
Oh wow.
I didn't come with one apparently in my little
Arrowhead.
package. That's what I was gonna say. He's probably gonna grab an arrow from off his, quickly open his quiver and grab an arrow and try to slash it open. But carefully.
How carefully?
Mordecai's probably trying to grab the instead of when you grab someone's shirt, you're not gonna grab their skin. You're trying to grab their shirt. Probably find loose bit of burlap and go there.
Okay, roll me a sleight of hand check. Yeah, you can easily just grab when something is really wet and just sticking to you, it just kind of it stretches. You can do that and you jam the arrow in and just tear. The arrow snaps in half. It's gone. That was the sleight of hand. But you managed to make a tear and rip it open, and you will see a young girl who does not appear conscious.
Mordecai is wild-eyed.
You gotta get her to shore, dude.
Yeah, Mordecai's going to get quickly rip the rest of the sack off of her and run to the shore and yell for Cassia.
Okay. You swim back to shore. Bluto just kind of watching all this happen with that dumb kind of look on his face. But just continues to, he has his line out. But you will eventually make it back to shore, and Cassia, you can kind of convene with Mordecai as he reaches the shore.
If Riley was there, he'd set that whole thing on fire.
Oh, Mordecai was going to say, "Don't you think you're going anywhere, you fat fuck?" As he's like dragging this poor girl onto the shore.
Yeah, you lay her onto the shore. Content warning: possible child death. What do you do, Mordecai? Because she's not breathing, or Cassia at this point.
Try to perform CPR.
This is a medicine check.
I mean, I could cast Spare the Dying.
It's fine.
You're coming. So in the meantime, I need to make a medicine check.
Okay.
Make a medicine check.
Ooh.
What's Mordecai's method in all of this?
Mordecai's going to try to get the water out of her lungs first. So kind of hold her against. I don't know if this is how you actually do it. I've never had to help someone drowning. So
You don't help someone drowning. You help someone after they almost drown.
Content warning: fake medicine. Mordecai's going to kind of crouch. Ow! That's not real medicine, Richard. Try to he's like kneeling on the ground. I'm assuming she's smaller than him.
Much.
And kind of try to like when someone's choked on something, kind of like holding her over, trying to use gravity and pressure to get that water out.
Almost like a Heimlich kind of thing going on. Okay.
I don't know. Don't look at me like that, Julian. I got a 22. It's working.
22. Yeah, you are just kind of pressing and almost maybe even pounding the back trying to get water. Like it makes sense considering you are so like out of it right now. You're almost in a frenzy, considering how fast you tried to move and the fact that you probably weren't breathing very well when you were under the damn water. It takes some time, and Cassia, you rush up as quick as you can. Mordecai, as you're just like trying to get the water out of her lungs, until eventually she does finally start to cough up water. I will just tell you, this is a behind the scenes look. The athletics was insufficient to reach her in time, which is why you needed a medicine check. The DC on the medicine check was 20.
Fucking poggers, dude, if I do say so myself.
Or she would have died because you managed to get the water out of her lungs. She coughs and kind of gasps and heaves. Mordecai, take a point of exhaustion.
Okay, how do I do that?
You'll just need to mark it for yourself somewhere.
Okay.
2 and you're out.
What?
Get 2 and then you're out.
Don't you already have a point of exhaustion?
No, 6 and then
No.
you're out.
Why would I already have a point of exhaustion?
From the alcohol?
No, I passed my con check.
Yes.
Hangover.
I'm gonna put it on my alignment.
Ooh.
You can actually add it. So if you go onto the
settings.
the settings, there should
Oh,
there's
okay.
there's a checky. Hold on, there's a thing for exhaustion that
I'm
you
looking.
can
Smart.
turn on.
Show exhaustion tracking.
Show exhaustion tracking. It's on the third column in general options, closer towards the bottom.
There's also ammo tracking
Okay.
for you.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
There,
that might be
sexy.
wise for all of us to turn on is exhaustion tracking. But at level 1 exhaustion, you have disadvantage on all ability checks.
Where does it show up though?
it shows up under your hit dice.
And underneath your,
Oh.
your death saves.
Okay. She coughs and hacks and kind of wheezes and eventually seems to start breathing normally as she just kind of blearily looks up at both of you. Where are you?
Who or why?
Who are you?
The Mordecai Vilkis. This is Cassia.
Okay, dear, spare your breath.
Cassia, can you stay here with me for just a moment? I have something else to do too.
Awesome. And she'll kind of kneel down
Yeah.
and attend to the girl as best as she can.
As you kind of kneel and like, you know, kind of help her relax a little bit, she will just like kind of pass out, just conk the fuck out. She's, you know, exhausted. Mordecai, sorry, go ahead.
We should take her back to the camp, but first, and he will nod his head over towards Bluto.
You should focus on taking her there first.
Yeah. Mordecai will kind of look at Bluto and kind of sneer, and look back at Cassia and just kind of shake his head, seeing the girl passed out now, and say, "We'll get him later. We just need to get her back first." And he's like digging his fingers into the palm of his hand, and he'll help the girl up, carry her as best he can, and follow you and Alexi back to the camp.
Still has to pay for this, one way or another.
He will. Surely the Watchmen will be able to do something, if they're worth a damn. And he'll roll his eyes.
Who's to say she's not the first victim? Or the last? It needs to be dealt with.
Well, we should get her back first. She needs to be taken care of properly. I'm by no means a doctor.
Right. She'll sigh and hang her head for the moment as she changes her focus back to leading them safely to the camp.
Okay. You are going straight to the camp. Very cool. Yeah, we'll just have, you know, Mordecai carrying her with Cassia and Alexi kind of following behind as they walk past, and the last thing that we kind of see on the scene is just the silhouette of Bluto still out on the water.
That dumb fuck.
Still trying to catch his fish.
Shithead.
We'll cut back to the orphanage.
Okay.
Luke and Riley, you are still kind of exploring the place. Kind of, you've discovered this corrupted symbol of Shar and mended it as best as you can, but there is still a fiendish presence in the building itself. Milovoy is still unconscious, catatonic, but might be stable for now.
The last we left off, we were just kind of thinking like, if somebody carved a corrupted symbol onto him, it might be somebody who has a bone to pick with this kid, this guy.
He's a grave digger.
But it realistically, I feel like it can't be. There's no reason to want to kill a gravedigger, you know, or on purpose. You know what I mean? So I felt like it was probably something that a child did either as a prank and not realizing what was going on, or something similar. But we also talked about how it could be something that this guy would have come across multiple times, and you might have interacted with something.
For an actual object, yeah.
If it was an actual object, so...
Well, Riley was gonna do more investigating while Luke went upstairs.
Yeah, so...
If Riley wants to...
So I guess I want to ask if anybody doesn't like the kid, the guy.
Yeah, you will kind of... You can make your way back down into the sort of main area, or the main floor at the very least. And you'll find the headmistress... just kind of tending to some light dusting, very sloppily, but she's just kind of doing it. She doesn't really notice you as you walk in.
Okay, well, I'll just stand behind her for a second before saying,
Does anybody not like him?
Oh, God. You scared me half to death there. No, it's all right, though. What?
Does anybody not like him?
Like I said before, everyone loves Milvoy. He's the one bleeding good thing these kids have got in their lives. They certainly like him a damn sight better than they like me, but... Look, if you're trying to think that one of these children had something to do with this, willingly... I don't know.
Is it that far-fetched?
I don't know what's going on with half these kids anymore. Apart from the ones what have just up and run off ever since he took ill.
Children have ran away.
Yes, I've told you. He's the only one keeping them in line. I try to keep them on task, on schedule. But... Look, it's no secret that the place is in a bit of disrepair. Milvoy, bless his heart, went down to work at the church for the sake of getting some coin to help us fix some things up.
Are there parts of this building that no one's allowed to go into?
I wouldn't say not allowed.
It's too dangerous?
House, I don't know. There's not even a cellar. It used to be, what's it? Some sort of, what's the word? Convalescing house.
What's that?
Like a hospice. An old folks' home.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we had the communal bedding all taken care of already. But nothing sinister about the place, and I wouldn't say it's in that much disrepair. Just trying to make it nice for the kids. What ain't ever gonna get to leave the place.
That just makes me think this place is haunted as fuck. Old people. It smells like old people.
Yeah, it smells like soup.
I'm not sure. I feel like maybe I'm not on the right track, but I'm gonna walk around outside, see if there's anything that might indicate that there's more to this space than meets the eye, to see if maybe there's something hidden that even the old lady doesn't know about.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Inspiration.
Please. As you're walking around outside, you can see the like lining the building itself and kind of interspersed throughout the grounds, which it's not like a big gated off grounds, but you can see like small what appear to be gardens, or some poor excuse for them, gardens and hedgerows and stuff like that are pretty shoddy, except for one that appears like it's like half worked on, that is near maybe the tool shed area, probably where Milivoy usually, that's where he gets his shit, basically. You get the impression that maybe he was trying to, make the place a little bit cheerier. And in fact, nearby, you see a pretty strong tree, that has on a couple of its branches. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, it does actually, because you can see like some makeshift swings that have been put up, like just rope and wood. Very simple stuff. But given that Milivoy was the handyman around here, it was probably his doing that he kind of put them up there. And one thing that you do see while you're kind of walking around that area is a couple of younger kids who are just kind of like in a little cluster, just kind of talking and whispering to each other and shooting sidelong glances at the swings. Because on one of them, you see Felix just kind of sitting there alone.
Poor kid. Oh, Riley wants to look into the shed for sure.
Mm.
But he also wants to help Felix, so I can't. I mean,
Roll me an insight check while you're just kind of standing there observing the situation.
13.
Yeah, I mean, you see the kind of looks that these kids are giving him, and you can tell this is typical like schoolyard. They're talking about him, but not getting close.
Not yet. Okay. I want to go into the tool shed, and I want to see if there's anything that might indicate work orders or things that he might have listed that he's done around the place. Maybe get a sense of where he's gone to find out, maybe follow in his footsteps to find out what got him.
Okay. Roll me an investigation as you enter the shed.
21.
Yeah, as you look around, you see it's very modest. It's there is a little spot to like work, like a little tinker, like a little workbench almost. A poor excuse for one, but it's there, like a crafting table.
Uh-huh.
But the shed is lined with tools, and you can actually see like a very crude drawing of what looks to be whatever his next project was that he was going to attempt, which is like it looks like a shoddy version of like what we would call like a jungle gym, something like that, like shit for kids to play on.
God damn it.
Basically. But you also like as you're looking around, you will see a couple of shovels, some looking quite well worn and kind of caked in mud. These are probably the shovels that he like takes with him to the church, or they're his personal shovel or whatever that he just keeps for when he does his job. And you see a broken shovel discarded in the corner, like the handle down near where the shovel, the actual spade of it is kind of snapped. And even the metal is a little bit bent at the tip of the spade.
Is that something that can happen to those shovels? Like, is that like a common fault zone for a shovel?
Maybe this is like if it's just shoveling dirt, probably fucking not. It might have been, it seems like whatever broke this shovel, it was not being used for its intended purpose. I hate that music sting. It scares the shit out of me every time. But as you are looking around, with a 21, I'll also give you, as you're kind of shuffling through the papers on the desk, like this person can clearly write. It's not the most competent. He's probably mostly self-taught. But you see what looks like a ledger of some kind, or like a makeshift, almost like a budget that he's trying to parse out for himself. You talk about supplies, timber and this and that, and the weekly stuff, because he wants to get better meals in for the kids and stuff like that. But based on the math that is happening, he's falling badly short of what he needs to do what he would like.
Okay. So we have a really good guy who wants to do things for the betterment of this place, can't quite make the money to do so. Maybe he did something to get that sorted out, to get that money. And maybe the thing that he did involved that shovel.
Maybe he
that
got involved
was
in something
Did
bad.
he go grave robbing?
would he go grave robbing, which would be something that he could realistically do.
And he could get cursed from easily.
He could, but it's also, there's the broken shovel that is broken in a way that
Maybe he clocked it into a solid stone coffin. That would bust a shovel real fast.
obviously he's encountered something that has cursed him, or he found something and somebody cursed him for it.
True.
I just don't know what it could be.
There's some good theorizing happening. I will say you haven't found every bit of information.
Yeah,
you've parsed out a lot from what you've got.
This is what I'm at. This is where I'm at right now. It's either
Yes.
he's because he's down on money. He's either grave robbed because he grave digs anyway, and came across something cursed, brought it home with him, or he took something and somebody is cursing him for it, or he did something unsavory because he's a strong, healthy boy who can dig a lot of graves, and somebody is trying to shut him up. And he did he did whatever unsavory thing for money. Is there any evidence that there is money?
Not that you can see.
Okay, then
You'll see like maybe there's a small box that has a few coppers and an electrum in it, but that's literally it.
but there's nothing that really says he's done a job or has received funds for whatever thing that he might have done.
Right.
So that's where I'm at. So Riley is gonna he's going to take one of the regular shovels and he's gonna carry it with him because he wants to do an experiment later. But he's gonna carry it with him and he's gonna go over to the swing.
Mhm.
Walking right between the snooty kids that are talking shit. He's just gonna walk right past them and then settle on the other swing.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those like the branch has two swings on it
Mhm.
situation. You just kind of sit down with a shovel.
I know it's weird.
Yeah, but Felix is there, just kind of fucking with his doll, so he's not really doing anything either. But he doesn't really acknowledge you as you sit down. He just kind of sits there and keeps, like when you're anxious and you don't know what to do, you're just kind of like plucking at like hairs or threads that are coming loose on your shirt, stuff like that. That's kind of what he's doing. He's fidgeting.
Are you okay?
He doesn't answer for a while, and he says, "They think I'm evil."
Why?
Because all these bad things happened when I got here.
Doesn't mean that it's you.
I barely even got to meet him. And now he's gonna die.
Maybe not.
No, he's gonna die.
What if he doesn't?
But he's got to.
I mean,
He's
everybody has to eventually, but what if he doesn't die now?
He just shrugs.
Why are you so sure?
because when you get like that, you die.
Has it happened before?
He just kind of shakes his head.
Did you see it in Barovia?
He shakes his head.
So you just know.
He nods.
I wrote a lot of stuff about this thing, but I still haven't figured out why it happens.
It happens because it's supposed to. Because they want it to.
They?
The people who want it.
Where are they from?
Shrugs.
You know, you can tell them that it's not your fault.
It doesn't matter. Because what if it is?
You said that you're not the only person that's empty here. If it was supposed to happen, then because of somebody who's empty, then it would have happened earlier.
They think that I'm bad because I'm not having bad dreams like them.
I don't have bad dreams.
But you're not here.
Why don't you tell them that they're dumb?
Because it doesn't matter. Because they'll all be dead soon anyway.
Why do you say that?
Because they're gonna keep running away.
Do you know why they're running?
Because of the dreams. And they think it's me because I've not been having them. Even Miss Claudia. She has bad dreams too.
Does everybody have bad dreams here?
He nods.
Even outside the orphanage?
I don't know, I've not been. All I know is that they have bad dreams and they run away. And then they die. Because that's what they're supposed to do.
Sorry, I'm doing a think right now.
You're doing mental math. I can see it. Yeah.
It's something that affects everybody. And it doesn't affect the empty kids because we don't dream.
Well, at least it hasn't affected you because you don't live at the orphanage, and it hasn't
Right.
affected Felix for some reason. You don't know if there are about any of the other kids necessarily.
So my question is, I guess like what I'm trying to theorize here is like, what is something that everybody in this orphanage does that equally affects them all?
Eat something.
So they all eat. So it could be something in the kitchen.
They all sleep.
They all sleep.
They all have to bathe somewhere.
So
Check all their beds.
it could be the beds,
Yeah.
because the beds is where they sleep. So if they have bad dreams, it's probably there. So maybe it's...
Tell you what, while Riley is kind of sitting and quietly mathing this out, we'll cut back to Luke, who is upstairs still. You know, having discovered all this stuff with Milivoy. What else are you trying to accomplish here, or what else do you think that you would do in the house?
I mean, in this upstairs area.
In the this is the main room in the upstairs, we'll say, is like the bedroom, which is, you know, like 20 to 40 beds, you know, in one long ass room.
Yeah, I think I would probably look to see if I can find similar etchings, or if there is anything else that is kind of painfully out of place. Based on my original Detect Evil and Good, I know that whatever it is somewhere on the grounds.
Yes.
Somewhere. So if Luke is under the impression that Riley is trying to look for stuff on the ground floor, he's trying to look upstairs.
Cool.
So
roll me perception.
let's use...
I know I'm being very
Inspiration.
quiet and just kind of like,
I like it though. I think it's cool.
and just trying to
Oh,
like
that's awful. 14.
come to terms with the
Yeah.
logic.
There's some deep mystery solving happening, and I enjoy it. With a 14, yeah, you kind of like move to some of the other beds and are taking a look at some of them. Nothing terribly out of place, you know. Some you know, some of the I mean, all the beds are slightly different. It's one of those, like, it's a hodgepodge kind of place. They just found what they could. Every time they need a new bed, they go and find one, you know, somewhere in an abandoned house or something like that, or build one. And you're looking for a little while and nothing seems odd, until you take a look at a couple, and they're all over the damn place. Like, there's no kind of rhyme or reason as to where they are, but you will see very similar, that corrupted symbol carved somewhere on the bed, be it the bedpost, the headboard, somewhere.
Okay.
And as you kind of discover this, or as you are taking your time looking, you'll hear footsteps coming up the stairs, and Claudia will come in, and she's got a small tray, and she'll say,
Not meaning to interrupt, but since you're both here helping out, I figure we could all do with a bit of a cuppa.
and she will walk over and lay down a tea tray, and just kind of sit on one of the beds, not too far from you.
Are you familiar? He doesn't look up at the cup at all. Are
Right.
you familiar with these carvings that are being placed on not all of the beds, but a good number of them?
What? I mean, these kids, they like to vandalize and scratch their graffitis in wherever they like, but...
They're all the same, though. And he stands up and kind of gestures to it. They're a twisted version of a sigil that belongs to a night deity. She's not particularly good, but she's also not particularly fiendish.
Well, let me see.
She'll kind of, like, you know, bend down to see what you're kind of pointing at.
If only we had a cell phone, then she wouldn't have to break her back.
Right. Here, I took this picture. But she will.
I mean, he did take an etch. He did make an etching.
You did do a rubbing of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can show her the rubbing, and you can also show her, like, oh, like, look, it's
Yeah.
fucking everywhere. You know, it's on a couple of different beds. I'll say that in total, you see it on 4 beds. 4 other beds besides Milivoy. And she will say,
that don't make sense.
I ain't never seen this symbol before, but you think this is like a cult or dark magics?
There's definitely something vile happening here.
What you mean?
Well, if symbols of gods being misconstrued, one can only assume that they either intend to slander the goddess themselves or they're twisting the energies. Though this isn't fully the problem. If we can find who's doing this, he taps the carving, then we might have a little bit more to work with, but I dare say I don't think we can just simply wait around for a child or whomever to pull out a pocket knife. And he kind of looks over to the bed.
We do a good search of all the kids. There's nothing illicit going on. But what beds did you find these on?
Several.
She will, as you maybe you know you kind of point out where they are, and she will say, just these then.
There could be more.
These beds have been empty for a few weeks or a few days now. A few weeks was a misspeak on my part. It's Peter, Franz, Emily. Those kids, what I told you, run away.
And we don't have any clue on where they ran off to.
Not even the guards say they saw nothing. But I wouldn't be surprised. The guards are hardly good at their jobs, but... Hold on. This is Jeska's bed. He's still here. Right, maybe it's nothing then.
No, it's probably something. It's just a matter of exactly what.
We might have to do a night linger.
Yeah, because even with my check saying, like, whatever it is should be here, but if we're not finding it because our rolls are bad or what have you, then we have to kind of...
I will say that the amount of time that you have spent in this bedroom, the item is not there.
Yeah, so at the very least, Luke will probably have to move on. But I think at the very least, he kind of looks towards Milivoy, and he kind of like he rubs his chin a bit, and he goes, "He has a couple days left, at best."
She just kind of solemnly nods at that, like she could have expected as much.
I want to move him from this place.
Move him?
To the church.
That's probably for the best, yeah. I was just, I guess, hoping I will wake up and he would be up and about, but...
Being on this bed at the very least is not good for him.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, maybe, like, moving him from this location might improve his issue. It probably isn't, considering what he knows about what happened to his mother. His mother moved locations and nothing happened, but he's hoping that consecrated ground, hallowed ground,
right?
The funny priest man that's higher level than me can maybe do something. But Luke will nod and say, I'll move him and check in with my my stepbrother, and maybe we'll talk to this. You said Jesper?
Jeska.
Jesker.
He's one of the younger ones.
What do they look like? Just so I know.
Oh, dark hair, bit muddled. He usually no, he's usually out on playtime right now. He takes chores second.
What if there's something similar about all those people too, visually. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, one of them. I mean, if nothing else, you did hear two typical boy names and a typical girl name.
It's equality.
What?
I said it's equality.
It's yeah.
Mhm.
They're real cream of the crop.
I said equality.
Oh, equality. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's kind of what she says. Luke, where is your kind of next steps here?
Find Riley. Tell him about the Yesker kid. See if he has any weird shit that's going on with him. Like, are there bad dreams telling him to like go somewhere or whatever? And yeah, he's gonna move Milliboy to the church.
Okay. Yeah, as you'll kind of make your way down and outside, and we'll say this will be relatively coincident with the time that Riley has spent on the swing, so you can kind of intercept that in a moment. But Riley, you've been sitting with Felix for a minute. Do you have anything else to speak to him about or ask him or anything?
No.
Okay.
We're gonna sit like we kiddos do.
Yeah. Roll a perception check.
$13.
Yeah, you were just sitting and probably don't notice as Luke finds you and probably comes up behind you.
Having fun?
Thinking.
Well, and he kind of steps around the swing to kind of look to him, and he looks to Felix. I'm assuming Felix is Felix still there?
Felix is still sitting on the swing, back to you.
Nods at Felix, and he'll say, "Well, it seems that we need to talk to someone called Yesker. You wouldn't happen to know who that is, would you?" He says down to Felix.
He'll nod.
Can you point him out for me?
He shrugs and he says,
I don't even know if he's still here.
That's what we're trying to check. And he looks towards Riley and he'll say, "There are kids who are going missing. Apparently they all have this etched onto their bedposts." And he shows him the rubbing.
He told me people are having bad dreams, and then they run away.
Jessica's been having awful dreams.
Has Yeska told you what those dreams are?
He probably
Big
can't
head
remember
shake.
them. I couldn't remember my bad dreams. But it doesn't hurt to ask, at least.
If you can find him.
Do you want to play a game with us? By helping us find him?
shrug.
There might be a new Blinsky toy in the running.
He kind of clutches his doll a little closer to him.
Don't you want them to have a friend?
It'll be better than a feather duster.
We're not supposed to have friends here.
Well, that's gonna change.
He just kind of like cocks his head, like, if you think so.
Even the kids don't fucking believe him. God damn it, this sucks.
this poor kid. He's been through a lot.
I wanna roll persuasion to get him jazzed to help us locate this little bastard.
Sure.
He doesn't know how to be jazzed. He doesn't even know what jazz
Trying
hands
to
are.
jazz him like he would encourage Riley. 21.
He will kind of sit for a second, as you said. You know that's about to change basically, and he contemplates, and then he will stand and kind of walk over to you and grab your hand and just kind of stand there.
I think we have a child now. I think this is ours.
I think we adopted somebody.
I told
think-
you that my brother's really good.
Your new name is Silas. Anyway.
Shut the fuck up.
And,
No.
yeah, let's go on a looky loo for. I want to say Wesker really bad.
It's Yeska.
Yeska. Okay.
Yeska.
I'll just say Wesker instead, and just
Pardon?
imagine this little redhead with sunglasses on.
Felix will just kind of follow you around as you search the grounds. How are you going about finding this kid?
Asking other kids.
Asking other kids what are the best hiding places.
Yeah. As
Not
you
gonna tell you.
fuck yeah, but yeah, no. As you approach some of the other kids, some of them tend to scatter. The closer you get.
It's like
But,
birds.
Like birds, yeah. You got to be careful.
I'm like Big Bird. You got big fluffy.
You got the
mantle,
feathers and
I'm
everything.
Super tall.
But eventually, you will kind of like inadvertently maybe corner a kid so he can't run quite so quick. But he just kind of looks up to you with like these wide eyes, waiting for you to ask him something.
Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to frighten you or anything. Where's the best place to hide for hide and seek here?
He just kind of breathes a little heavier, almost like he's about to cry.
This is hard.
Look like
Roll me an insight check, please.
this kid's about to fucking scream.
He thinks you're gonna
13.
eat him.
It's not you, because you see his eyes keep glancing down toward Felix.
His like eyes go down to Felix, looks back to the kid, and then he squeezes Felix's hand, to like let him know it's okay, and he'll say, "It's all right. No one's going to hurt anyone. We're here to help, and Felix is our number one helper. You can be our number two helper."
Mistress doesn't let us play hide and seek, but if I was going to, I would probably be in the pantry, maybe,
That's
or
a good one.
under the stairs.
Under the stairs. Are there several places under the stairs or just one?
Under the stairs goes under the house.
I'm sorry, what?
Quirks a brow at that and gets kind of like a wild smile. He goes, "That is excellent information." And then Luke kind of like pats like his like person real quick, and
Gives him a copper.
yeah, I want to give him something.
A knife.
A knife.
Baby?
A noogie.
No. I mean, can they buy stuff?
I mean, they really haven't left the place, but I guess they could.
If he gets
There's nothing really stopping them.
Alright, do I have anything fun in my priest pack that I can give him?
I mean, besides a fucking
A
candle.
knife.
A knife.
Well, I just know I have like a priest pack and money, and that's all I can give him.
Kind of about it, honestly.
I mean, a kid's gonna fucking dig a penny.
Sure. I give him
He'll go get himself a sweetie.
a sweetie. Yeah, go get yourself a
Don't spend it all in one place.
Get yourself popcorn in a movie.
A single popcorn.
If fucking only.
It's one banana, Michael. How much could it cost? $10. But yeah, you flip him a copper, and the kid's kind of excited, and then just kind of gives you a nod, and then runs away.
Okay.
Where are you going now?
So we're in agreement that we're going underneath the house.
Yeah.
Okay. Felix, you don't have to go underneath the house if you don't want to.
He just kind of squeezes your hand a little bit.
Okay, he's coming.
Okay, we'll cut back to our others who are on their way to the Vistani camp.
Sorry, that's
Hey,
not.
I was gonna go pee.
Oh no!
Well, we can take a
You can take a 5.
We can take a 5-minute break.
I inconvenience us. Oh.
No, I mean it's a good halfway part, Mark.
Oh, I
Yes.
need water.
Cool. Let's take a 5, and we'll meet back here at whenever everybody's back.
Of course, I always stall until it's my turn to go pee.
You're like, I'm so interested in what everybody's saying. Go! Go!
agents and like a little
Yes.
like they're so good for no reason.
They're like the pizza Pringles that are like disgustingly addictive.
I haven't had any non-standard Pringles, I'm afraid. But we are back. Took a minute because a cat pissed on a snake. It was a long story. But the snake is all better now.
It's gonna take me a long time to clean out everything on his one side of his cage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Coconut bedding's
Well-
fucking expensive, so.
All right, we're back. And we're moving back to Mordecai and Cassia, who are making their way to the Vistani camp. We will say at this point it's probably like mid-afternoon on both accounts. Hopefully we can kind of reconvene after our separate little stories are all put together. For the latter half of things, or third of things. You guys kind of travel on the outskirts of Valaki again, taking that same route kind of to the west, and eventually on the road or on the way there, Arabelle will wake up in your arms, kind of groggy, but she will say,
You're not who I saw.
Mordecai would kind of quirk a brow at that. Well, who'd you see?
More of you.
Like a blonde one and the one with glowy eyes and a big hat?
Maybe.
Well,
We
sometimes
have
what she-
friends. Are you alright?
For now.
she kind of looks over to Alexei, who's been like kind of up your ass, Mordecai, a little bit, like as he's been kind of staying next to her as much as he can. But she says,
I told you. It would be a few days.
he just kind of stays quiet. He doesn't really know what to think about. I think he's still in shell shock that that's what happened, and that it got so close.
Maybe a few days still, but your actions had consequences.
Not my actions. Just fate.
But clearly, no, the fate you've been dealt isn't the same as the fate you saw. Because it's not quite everybody
You don't have to follow your vision.
Bad things happen to those who don't.
Well, bad things happen to poor Alexei right here. Bad things happen to your father, who's worried sick.
You know what old people like to say about this kind of thing? Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Where are
You
we
should've-
going?
Back.
And I'll trust that. Be truthful to your father. He's very angry that Alexei lost you.
Alexei was dealt quite the punishment.
I'm sorry.
She kind of turns to him to say, and he just kind of, waves it off like, it's fine, you are safe, is kind of the vibe. But she will say,
But you can't be truthful.
Why not?
he'd go after him.
Bluto?
My father would go after him. And no good comes of it.
Dealing with Bluto? Or your father going after him?
I don't remember. I don't know. It's hard. They come to me when I don't expect them.
Then we can find a way to handle the problem ourselves. Still, if he did something to you, you probably weren't the first. And it needs to stop.
I was the only one, I think.
Do you know why he did it?
People say Vistani are lucky.
Then he'll be taking more, if he believes it.
What, did he try to use your luck to get more fish and it didn't work or something, so he threw you overboard?
He was on his boat a few times, I think. It was hard to tell, but that was his last try, I think. A sacrifice to the lake.
Mordecai will snort. You don't have to worry about your father dealing with him. I'm sure the city watch will get there first.
You don't know my father.
And you don't know me. And I'll kind of pat her head.
Nice. We will say that this conversation carries you to the edge of the camp. What's the play here?
Well, I'm assuming that Cassia had kept Mordecai up to date about how this guy reacted and all she saw.
Of course.
So she's probably still hanging out by the border of the camp to see like where he's at, or at least a vague sense of where his brother is if he can't find him.
As you are kind of like approaching the camp and scanning for them, you do not see them, but you do see smoke rising from the tent. They're probably inside their main tent on the hill. Their horses are there, so they're clearly at camp.
Cut their horses and they run free.
Just for no reason, go, be free.
Be free.
Smack.
And then they get eaten by wolves. Anyways.
Horses.
She'll look to Mordecai and then Alexei. Dear, you should at least wait outside. I know that you're worried about her.
I stay outside, yeah, but I'm not going anywhere. I want to make sure that she's safe.
Plus, I just don't want us any more venom spit at you.
Thank you for everything you've done for me already, but this is my responsibility too.
And you helped. You deserve credit.
Wouldn't go that far, but thank you.
What problem? Give him a firm pat on the shoulder.
Ah, my whip marks.
Oh fuck.
No, it's fine.
That's fine. He's healed magically. He's
Yes.
still limping though, because fuck, ow.
Fuck Al.
Fuck, I was right.
But you kind of all approach, and as you make your way toward the inner circle of those like the what you call them, your cabins, your houses, Cassia, all the Dusk Elf dwellings circling the hill. Casimir will kind of see you approaching and make your way over, or make his way over, basically, and not to belabor the whole thing, but he is ecstatic that you have found her, thrilled, good to see that
She'll
everybody's
introduce him briefly to
Simba.
Mordecai.
okay. Yeah. Oh, that's
Friend.
right. Yeah.
Because Mordecai was the one that saved her too, so.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's still wet.
He knows how to swim.
You lost
He's
your cloak though, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought I got it back. No.
Bitch, it was in the water.
Oh well.
That bitch is
It's
cotton.
gone.
He's extra cold now.
Costume
Pluto has it
change.
because he fished it up.
Bluto's wearing it tomorrow.
And then
I
we
get
beat his ass.
Great fish.
We take him out back and beat the shit out of him just to get my cape back.
But
Exactly. That's what's gonna happen.
Casimir will kind of look to you, Mordecai, and say, you are one of the others that she has met.
I.
It is good to meet you. Hopefully, we can meet the others before you all leave.
I'm sure they'll end up here one way or another. Fate has a
Slowly
way.
but surely.
And he'll
Hard cuts to us
briefly
running
glance.
underneath the building.
They're like running in these little like rat holes under the town.
Yeah.
But he will say, the brothers have been back for a few hours now after a search. I believe they're in their tent.
Nice.
Be cautious, Cassia. Mind your words.
Well, if you hear screaming, then I guess I didn't.
Mordecai kind of looks at her like, what?
But he will kind of like chuckle at that in that way, like, oh, I really hope you're joking. But he will like kind of pat you and let you go. And he will follow alongside Alexei to see to the tent to see kind of what the situation becomes.
Wait, brothers?
Yes, the two leaders of the Camper brothers.
Oh, yes.
2 beefy brothers.
Two brothers. But you make your way to this large tent, and you hear talking from inside, and as you kind of like peer around the corner, you can see Luvash and Aragol poring over a large map of the region of Barovia on the table, clearly marked up like, oh, they've gone to all of these places to fucking search and have turned up nothing. And they're trying to plan their next steps. The conversation is slightly heated, but the two of them are amicable always, or at least Aragol knows how to navigate Luvash's outbursts. As you kind of make your way inside, what do you do, Cassia?
Cassia will still see them.
Yeah, and you will hear something to the effect of, now, calm down. She's not that unwise as to go south to the ruins.
Are
She
you
probably...
missing a child?
You motherfucker, of course you were. Luvash kind of stops, with his back kind of to you and turns around. He turns around looking to be pissed, and then his eyes kind of widen and he rushes over.
Someone has been missing a child.
He rushes over, and he grabs her from you, Mordecai. Not like roughly, but he just does.
Fucking plucks a child out of your arms.
Be gentle. Well, she can speak for herself.
What's happened to her?
Ask her.
She kind of looks up to him, and she's still kind of a little bit groggy, and he says, "Where were you, girl? We were worried sick for you. What happened to you?" He's doing that thing where like he's concerned, but he does only have one emotion. So it's just, you
Angry
know,
concern.
angry
Dad.
concern, yeah, distant father concern. But she just says,
They saved me. I was up by the lake, lost.
by the lake. We were up by the bloody lake. We searched the damn place 4 times.
Mordecai will kind of give her like a raised eyebrow look.
She just looks at you, but
She
she doesn't
means she
do anything.
was kidnapped. Held up in one of the fish's shacks.
What?
And an unknown figure tossed her into the lake before he rode away.
The Ravens told me some man had taken her.
Ravens?
Mordecai here dived in and, well, saved her life.
I don't understand. Ravens and a fisherman's shack.
I'm able to speak with animals, and they are quite knowledgeable sometimes. So we saw the unknown figure drop what appeared to be just a wiggling burlap sack into the lake and quickly make his way out, and I didn't have time to apprehend him because I was trying to save someone from drowning.
Didn't have time. Weren't there 2 of yous? But now he's still out there.
Are you happy that she's alive or not?
What kind of fucking question is that?
A good one, apparently, because you seem more concerned about the apprehension of the criminal than your actual daughter's safety, sir.
I'm more concerned to make sure this fucking monster ain't out there to come and do it again.
Cassia was busy investigating and was too far away. I didn't even have time to call for her. It was a
I was
life or
investigating
death
the shack.
situation.
I heard splashing, went outside and saw a boat just speeding off, and my friend swimming for her life.
Father, it's fine. Hush, girl.
Don't tell her to hush.
He will hand her back to Aragol. Not roughly, but like to make sure that, you know, she's out of the way. Say, of course we're happy that she's back, but we need to find this son of a bitch that did this. And you say you didn't even catch his face?
What do you want me to do? Stand there and take a good look? While your
Mordecai.
daughter is drowning?
He will grab you by the collar with like one meaty fist.
Mordecai is unafraid. Beat the shit out of me if you want. It's not going to change anything.
Boys, before this gets any more rash, how about we go and do more investigating to find him, and you can spend time with your daughter, who's
What I was going to say.
traumatized from this entire situation. You must miss her so much.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Can I use one of my inspirations to roll advantage?
Yes, you may. He kind of seethes a little bit and stares directly at Mordecai this whole time that Cassia's been speaking, and he will let you go, and he'll say, "Fine then. But you know this, that as long as that monster is out there, my daughter is in danger. All of us are.
Trust me,
Yeah.
sir. I'm a monster slayer trained by the best.
You go do your looking. I've a mind to go and do some scouting myself.
Uh-oh.
You should be doing some introspection.
That man's gonna get himself killed.
Don't you be telling me what I should be doing.
I haven't
One
even
of them
gotten a thing to
Valachians
you.
took her in, ain't right?
No. I don't know. It could have been whatever minion he wanted to play with.
Excuse me?
He takes women all the time. Yes,
Women?
you know.
What are you trying to imply?
The gender of your daughter?
Mordecai's genuinely confused.
I will say, you saying he takes women made him think that you were implying that Arabelle was a woman for him to take in an unsavory sort of way.
Well, excuse me for speaking the truth.
Yeah.
He doesn't
he's
like
an
that.
asshole.
He just sees Mordecai just absolutely just saying the truth, confused why he's so pissed.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Mordecai does. Like, what does he want?
Yeah.
I don't know. Woman, in a social term, I guess woman is, she is a female, but woman has the connotation of adult,
Fair.
whereas
Yeah.
girl, young girl, you know.
Strahd's a groomer. Hashtag.
Trigger
Anyways.
warning, grooming.
He will say, you're clearly from not around here.
What gave it away?
Being so unwise. As
I
to
don't think
say,
honesty is
can you
unwise.
let- he's gonna okay, but he you say that and he will say being so unwise as to speak about the overlord of this land in that way. You want to bring more death upon our heads?
It would be upon mine and not yours.
Tell that to Perez.
Luke
Or
told you
perhaps-
about that.
Perhaps you should tell it to her. And he will look at Cassia in reference to Perez. That's where
Mordecai's just
they're all from.
going to give him like a dead look. Yes, I'm aware of what happened.
So you know what kind of wrath he can inflict if persuaded in the right way.
He has been known to throw tantrums.
Look,
Get out.
Navash, we'll get on it and leave you be.
The more time we spend here, the scaler the tracks get.
Do what you wish, and I'll do what I do.
And she'll nod and turn to leave with Mordecai. And before they leave, she'll chirp back, "You're welcome."
He doesn't answer you, but you step out. Casimir and Alexei clearly could hear all of that. It happened basically near the entrance of the tent.
Cassia held her tongue.
You did, yeah. Good job, guys. I had the map ready. But he will. Casimir will say, another day where conflict is avoided, I suppose. Well done.
Yes, Eva, energy.
What will you do now?
Hunt a beast, I reckon.
The girl is
It's a hot
wise.
option.
I would not discount what she says. If indeed you can speak to her again at this point.
Well, for good dog father, sounds so.
Come, do you have time to rest, or should you be getting on?
She'll look over to Mordecai for his sake, because she's
Mordecai's the
pretty
tracker.
much.
What a short rest. I need a long rest to get rid of the exhaustion, don't I?
Yes.
No, we need to deal with it before they do.
He will nod, kind of solemnly. And he will say, be wary of what actions you take into your own hands.
Won't be my hands, it'll be the city watch.
Good. Good.
This
He'll
doesn't
kind of...
mean we shouldn't rough him up.
Oh, I will. And he'll pull out some manacles.
Smash cut to Luke and
He
Riley.
realizes that Cassie has friends. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Not a good influence.
Stinky. Luke and Riley, you make your way to the stairs in the orphanage. There is very much a cupboard under the stairs situation. It's probably for linens. But as you kind of like open it, it's very stuck. But you manage to kind of wrench it open. And you see a, for lack of a better term, a trap door.
Interesting. He kind of like looks back towards Riley, and he kind of like tips his head towards the door. Who wants to bet that there's some sort of secret passage under here? Considering that all of these kids just disappear out of thin air.
I don't know.
I guess we should go look. And Luke's still holding Felix's hand, right?
Yep.
And with the other hand, he's gonna cast light.
I'll say this right now. If I was in this situation, fuck no!
Me, I would be like, ew, spiders.
Spiders.
Be like, fuck no, I ain't going down there, fuck you.
Remember, this is a horror protagonist.
Yeah, we have to do our quick time events.
That's good.
Fuck off. Who's going in first? Well, I mean, Riley's...
Michael says fuck off and then hides their notes.
What's that?
I think Luke will go first because he has the light.
Okay.
To kind of illuminate the space.
Yeah, so you...
How many corpses do we see?
When you reach down, you open the trap door, and it doesn't lead very deep. It leads into a crawl space.
Oh.
Yep.
No.
Let's fucking go.
No.
Felix stands firm. He's not gonna come in with you.
Okay.
But he'll watch.
Can you keep an eye out? Make the biggest squawk you could ever squawk if something bad is coming this way.
Does he even know what that means? Something bad coming this way?
But he'll nod like he does.
Can I roll an insight to see if he actually knows what I'm talking about?
Sure.
Natural 20.
Yeah, he gets you. You're on the same wavelength.
He understands.
I didn't say that out loud. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Right.
He says that to himself then. He gets it.
This kid gets it.
Okay.
Riley, you are a bit more petite than I am. I could still go first, though, if you want me to.
Can I?
Content warning, crawl space.
I hate it.
The house falls on us.
I'm going to cast...
Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm gonna cast Blade Ward.
Fun.
Extend your hand and trace a sigil of warding in the air until the end of your next turn. You have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks.
Cool.
So it's just
a precaution.
Just a precaution. because I don't know if I want to do shield yet. So, I mean, shield would be a good idea too, but we'll do the cantrip first.
Yeah.
And then if I die, I die. That's fine. Down the crawl space I go, and shimmy my way through.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
I have really bad perception, as in I only have a 0. I'm gonna spend an inspiration point just because I have it, and
Okay.
16's better.
That's
16. Yeah. You make your way in. Your hat uncomfortably scraping the floor beams above you. It is like an honest to God crawl space. It doesn't look like it goes any deeper. It looks like it's just literally under the building itself. But as you fucking like shimmy your way through the beams and cobwebs and fucking nasty gross stuff,
You
like it's
find
very
a fuck ton of cats.
they're
That's
all
where they
just
fucking
chilling.
live. I swear to God.
It's just the javelinas.
The javelinas, yeah, you see a family of javelinas. No, but
Riley dies.
You make eye contact and scream.
and it's already too late.
I don't like the idea that they are neither rat nor pig. They're just
They're
herbivores.
herbivores.
Just say that they're pigs.
They're
It's
fucking
fine.
awful. I
But
hate.
you crawl through for a little bit, and it takes it's a bit before it takes a little bit. Luke, are you following?
Yes, because I want
Okay.
to also provide light.
Yeah. And with that light, we'll say that was the inspiration, giving you that advantage on the roll.
Oh yeah, I can cast
Content
guidance. I should just
warning.
do that.
Content warning.
And children?
Spiders?
Child injury.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Riley gets hurt.
Yeah, Riley dies. No, you find you see a boy who looks emaciated, and his leg is basically snapped. You see fallen timbers that like basically crushed his leg, and he has been pinned under here for what looks like days. He is barely conscious.
Luke.
I see. And Luke will kind of swim his way because he's so fucking tall. He has to like literally be on his stomach while going through. You said that there are fallen boards.
Yeah, like a beam of some kind has just like snapped and crushed this kid's leg, and he's
It's a
pinned.
shitty old building.
Can I
Exactly.
Can I try to lift it and mend that first to get that off of
You
him?
can. I need a strength check at disadvantage because of the positioning.
Mend his leg.
That's gonna be bad. Oh, that's still not too bad.
Wow. Okay. You can lift the beam off of him, but actually like picking it up and putting it in place like that. That's like a.
Okay, as long as I got
It's
it.
not. It's a non-starter. It's off of his leg at least.
As long as it's off. Yeah, he gets it off and looks down towards the leg, and goes, "Okay, everything's gonna be fine. Are you Yeska?"
He very weakly nods.
Okay. He pats him on the head, and based on my type of healing, I can still heal broken bones and stuff like that, right?
Yes, it will need to be set first, so that will be a medicine
Who's
check.
better at medicine, Jesse?
I will say you probably can't do it here.
We have to take him out.
I guess you're right. It's not the easiest of places. Okay, we're gonna take you out.
He's unconscious, though, right?
Basically, he's
Yeah.
mostly unconscious. He's fucking gonna pass out again from pain in a minute.
Okay. Do you wanna... You're much better with anatomical stuff than I do. Do you want to make sure that the leg stays together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll
But
do that.
we
No,
have to take him out.
We're gonna do that right now. Just
Okay.
take care of the leg. And then Luke will kind of like hook his arms underneath the
Yeah.
kid's pits and kind of...
You kind of like
We're
butt
gonna
scoot
inch,
back.
We're gonna inch
Yeah.
our way.
You make your way back to the crawl space opening, and through great effort, without shaking or rattling the kid too much, you manage to get him up and out of the crawl space. Where do you want to put him?
On the floor where we're at, I guess, because like I think the first thing that we're gonna have to say is to Felix is get Miss Claudia.
Yeah. Do you want to have Riley say that?
Felix, go get Miss Claudia.
He just kind of looks down at Yeska for a minute, but then he'll turn away to go find her. And she will come rushing back in time for you to have kind of set him out in the hallway on the floor. As Riley is, getting up out of the crawl space at this point.
Yeah.
I've never done this with somebody that's alive.
Well, there's a first time for everything. And Luke will kind of look back towards Claudia. She's here now, right?
She's here, and she goes, what let's have all this going on?
Apparently, he was underneath the building for quite some time. There was a fallen beam.
What are you doing?
We need to
Set his leg.
Well, go on then. And she will take Felix and knock her water bottle over and then turn him around. And take a few steps away.
Luke, he might bite his tongue.
Oh no, he won't. And Luke will kind of gathers up his side sash and like rolls it up and then just opens the mouth. Just
got it.
Because I might not get this right, because even though Riley is very much into anatomical drawings and anatomy and stuff like that,
I have a high medicine.
I have a 0 modifier to my wisdom, so
I have a 4.
Isn't medicine intelligence?
It's wisdom.
No, it's wisdom.
Fuck.
Yeah, I
half
know.
of these fucking skills are
Don't
Yeah,
make
I know.
sense.
Can I roll to help Riley?
Yes, you may. So Luke, roll first to aid.
12.
You aid, so that'll be a +2 to whatever you roll, Riley.
Inspiration.
I think I got a spell.
ahead.
Your last inspiration.
Hell.
There you go. So that's an 8.
I don't want
Okay.
this kid to have a bum leg.
Yeah. You go to maybe handle it for a second, and the kid winces, and maybe it freaks you out a little bit because you're like, they don't do this when they're dead. But Luke kind of comes over and kind of helps you, focus for a second as Riley, you twist, and lift and kind of set, and you hear a little bit of a pop. But you eventually set the leg down, and the kid is like kind of out of it, but still clearly in a lot of pain. But it seems like you did what you needed to do for now.
And then I'm gonna do, because I have time to do it. I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, is prayer of healing better than just cure wounds? Or
Well, what die is it?
it's 2d8. Yeah.
Yeah, it's twice as good.
It's twice as good. So yeah, I'll do prayer of healing. Even if it's multiple. If there's 5 other creatures that also need healing, they get healing.
Yeah.
So.
I will say that as you kind of minister to him, literally, prayer, and you say your prayer of healing, kind of slowly but surely, the bone kind of knits itself back together. That's like triple his fucking max hit points. Doesn't even matter. But yes, you will set it to right, and eventually you see like the kind of strained look leave his face as he just conks out.
Okay.
There might be more.
Luke pops the fake gauze out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Possibly, yes. Miss Claudia?
Is it done?
Yes. Can you please put Yeska in the bed without the augmented symbol?
Right, yes, of course.
Right, and she will kind of stoop down and slightly struggle, but she will lift the boy. and make her way upstairs with him.
Riley's gonna dip back in that crawl space.
Yeah, I will let you. I'll just let you take 20 on it as you investigate. You see no other children. There's nothing else under here, though. The kind of direction that he was going when he was pinned, you see at the far end of the building. It's kind of like the building's raked a little bit because there's a hill, and you see like that kind of like under the building lattice work looking shit that's always there is broken open. That was where the kid was going when he got trapped.
Luke, I imagine he pokes his head in, gets the light back going, and he'll say, "Did you see anything?"
I see where they went. If this is where they all went through.
Oh, what direction is it in?
Away.
North, south, east, west.
Call it the west, as it's going out like the quote unquote back of the building.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that's where they went immediately.
Yeah,
it's just
because
that's where the lattice was broken.
The lattice work is broken to the west side of the building.
Well, if we can get Mordecai to do some tracking, he might be able to figure out where they went. But for now, we should keep an eye on this other child, and hopefully he can tell us what he knows.
Out we go.
Cool. Call it a short rest's worth of time, about an hour later. We will cut back to Cassia and Mordecai. You make it back to the lake, and Bluto is still out there fishing.
Fucking end him, or at least see if he's possessed.
Let's get on the spare boat and join him.
If he's not possessed, end him. If he's possessed, maybe put him out of his misery.
Are you gonna take the boat out?
Mordecai's gonna kind of watch for a minute,
Fuck wants to swim.
kind of with just a hand on his face, and look over, with not even looking over at Cassia, and say, "You know, my instincts tell me just to put an arrow right between his eyes and let him die there. But
I mean, that's my instincts as well, but
he could suffer in prison where he belongs."
As you're kind of just watching him, he gets a pull on his line for the first time, and he reels it in, and he pulls up a really nice looking cloak. And he looks at it, it's like, is this a fish? What the fuck? No, yeah, fuck it. And he puts it into the boat, and then he casts the line out again.
I think we have to kill him now. I'm kidding. That's the most expensive piece of clothing I've owned. No.
well, we can
I'll row
sit
us out
outside
there.
and have some lunch and wait for him to come back and shore. Or we get on the boat, drag him back.
That's a fun option. And if he puts up a struggle,
Let's just say we don't shove him overboard. Sure, he'll sink.
accidents happen.
And they both shuffle on over to the boat.
Yeah, Mordecai will row you guys out there.
Yeah, you row out.
He'll kind of, just as we're rowing for the brief moment, because it probably doesn't
Proficiency.
take too long,
Boat proficiency.
he'll say, "You know, I never thought monster hunting entailed anything but, terrible creatures, but I think I've come to learn there's more than one kind of monster."
Yes, it's on your definition of monster.
I think he fits. And Mordecai will kind of let the boat drift over gently.
It does look like a creature from the lake.
You let the boat kind of sidles up, and Bluto kind of turns to acknowledge that you're there and just kind of gives you a little nod and then turns back to his rod.
A nod of camaraderie of, you're out here to fish too?
Man, I should have loved my wife, but I got fish. Mordecai casts an imaginary line. No, Mordecai will kind of set the oars down. I believe you're under the citizen's arrest, Ludo.
What?
Your hands.
You have to keep hold on the road. Fish come anytime.
Oh, I'll keep watch.
I'll see. We'll make sure. Here, your hands. And he's got the monocle. The monocles.
The man
The
Nichols.
manacles.
He will like kind of look over to both of you. He seems a little confused, but he'll hand you the rod, Cassia.
Fishing rod. I
Yeah.
immediately get a fish.
Yes. But he will say, very bad luck on lake past few days.
Oh,
No
can I-
very much fish.
Is that why you tried to drown that girl?
Visyani is lucky. Make a offer to the lake, perhaps have the fish they come.
That doesn't sound right.
Mm,
If anything, the fish were scared of the girl sinking to the bottom.
Maybe not blood or best idea.
have you attempted to change your bait? You
Jesse's gonna scream.
I think it's your last idea, Pluto.
Yes, it does not work. I try something different next time.
Ugh.
Maybe put worm on hook.
What have you tried before?
Color,
I'll try putting worm on hook. I swear to God.
colorful feather,
Lithium
spray,
Gale.
breadcrumb.
Newborn baby.
I
Meat pie.
try to make net, but net is too big for fish. They're much small.
Have you tried to
I-
kill anyone else before, Pluto?
I don't kill anybody.
Mordecai will just kind of slowly look at Cassia.
Have you ever fully thought things through?
I have idea sometime that perhaps help me get fish. People in the tavern say about lack of the Vistania and one come to lake, so I think perhaps it helped me for to bring the fish back.
How'd you know she was Vistani?
I hear them speak and I do not understand.
Well, that could have just been anyone.
Perhaps it was not Visyanya. But you are smart. Perhaps it wiggle around make the fish afraid. Try something different. Maybe put worm on hook.
This man.
I have so many
Words.
questions.
I have no questions, and all I have is actions. What are your questions?
What are your questions?
There's an inconsistency, right?
Right.
She's been missing for days. And so, did he kidnap her?
Yeah.
Hold her for days and then decided to toss her in?
As a last chance, as in, like,
Yeah,
she didn't.
She was on the boat a couple of times. He just took her out on the boat as a good luck charm a couple times, and then last ditch effort, he tossed her in the water.
Unconscious? Like, just, she's been unconscious this whole time?
She
No.
was wiggling when she went in the water.
No, I mean, like,
She was conscious when she went in.
before.
She can't put up much of a fight. I mean,
I just, okay. So he knocked out babysitter, took her, and that's it. Okay.
And she let it happen. She didn't fight because remember she had the vision. And she's
She
like, "Oh,
just
this is
decided to
supposed
lay
happen."
down and wait.
So then he was like, well, sacrifice?
Okay.
Bluto, have you ever tried a personal sacrifice to the lake?
I don't sacrifice nothing. How does?
Would you
Have
like
you
to
done
try?
this for fish before?
Oh,
Oh yeah, some fishes love bloodletting.
I'm quite the hunter.
It's perhaps better than men in bar say about Vistani's lucky. They are very not. I take her with me to boat, tell her use your magic to get the fish, but it does not move. It does not listen.
Not everyone has magic.
You know, the fisherman's magic lies deep within him. That's what I've heard.
Bruto begin to think he has no magic for fish.
Well,
Oh, I can
like I
show
said,
you.
bloodletting. Some fish are attracted to the scent of blood. Here, I actually have my sickle with me if you would like to try.
I don't have any blood to put over for fish.
Try on.
Content warning: self-harm, because he will
Content
take it.
warning,
He will take it
murder.
from. He will take it from you, and he will slice his arm open, and it will hurt, and he will wince, and the blood will kind of go in the water, and he will watch over the side.
Sorry. That's Riley again, just like.
Well, Mordecai
I'm getting there.
just fucking kick him.
I do not think it is working. This is
Give
painful.
it a minute.
Maybe you need to get in the water and try it again.
This is so fucking. I thought we were arresting him.
Change my mind.
You can roll me an insight check if you'd like.
Fine.
I don't feel like this man's with it, guys.
There's something
I
wrong.
think
Yeah, there's something.
This
wrong
dude
with
is
it.
empty.
I think he's
This
empty.
dude is empty. So, like, to be fair, I don't
To be
think
fair,
necessarily.
But then, I mean, it comes to a point. It's like,
Based on
what
what we.
would my character do?
I know what your
My
character
character
would
doesn't
do.
know shit about being empty.
That is true.
Mordecai
fair.
knows nothing. Mordecai just thinks this guy's a fucking shitty
Psychopath.
person. Yes.
Cassia can roll insight as well.
Cassie's just fucking chaotic neutral, so whatever. It'll work. Okay, 12.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is clearly, there's something weird. Like, maybe he's just drunk. That's what you're kind of getting. But yeah, he's just kind of looking over the side of the water, the side of the boat into the water, and just not seeing anything.
Mordecai will kind of breathe in the scent of blood and kind of look hesitantly at Cassia. His expression's faltered. Do we want to deal with these consequences? He says quietly. Should we cover it and take him back? With the city.
What consequences are there?
He'll just be quiet. I would say I don't want to become a monster, but I already am one.
It all depends on the definition.
He'll kind of snort. Would you like to do the honors on me?
I'm holding on to the fishing pole.
Oh.
I'm fishing.
Bluto, do you know how to swim?
No, I don't think. Usually use a boat.
Can I see the sickle?
Yeah, he'll hand it back to you, all kind of absent-mindedly as he's looking into the water.
Mordecai will push him over.
Okay. He sinks like a rock, and you don't see him again.
Mordecai will flip the boat so it looks like there's an accident, and wash the sickle off before handing it back to Cassia. You might be something might bite now.
A kraken comes out of the water and attacks you both.
Well, and Mordecai will kind of wash his hands in the water a little bit. Well, that's been done.
Let's hope the Vash eventually that it's been handled.
We'll let him get his energy out for a little bit, I guess. The exhaustion kind of hits Mordecai. At that point, I think the adrenaline is gone. I'll row us back to shore. We have a fishing rod now. We could go fishing, I guess, at some point.
It's not enchanted, though.
Not enchanted. We'll have to fish for some of those.
Yeah.
We can take Luke and Riley out. Maybe Alexi, or one of the kids that they've been hanging around with.
Could take Alexi out to fish.
Who knows? Maybe something will actually bite. And she'll kind of reel in the line before putting the pole down.
Oh, Mordecai, you start rowing back to shore.
Noted, Mordecai did get his cloak back.
He did get his
I
cloak
did get
back,
my
yes.
cloak back. Sorry, I forgot about that. Mordecai
You begin to
kind
row.
of
You begin to row back to
clasps it.
shore. Yeah, you clasp it over yourself. It's soaking wet, but it'll figure itself out.
He's been soaking wet the whole time.
Yeah.
He's like 10 pounds total soaking wet. So.
Yeah, and as you're kind of rowing back, Cassia, you get a voice that says, "So simple to break the wills of men, is it not? All it needs is a push. A fine beast."
She'll nod to herself, not really wanting to speak out loud while Mordecai's rowing.
Mordecai will just kind of say, well, he won't say anything, but you can tell he's not entirely uncomfortable. He might have done something like this before, is the vibe you're getting. Like, this isn't the first time that he has gotten his hands dirty.
Perhaps next time there will be less thought. A fine beast indeed. And you make it to shore.
Mordecai will kind of just tie the boat up to, presumably there's a little dock or something, or a tree, stick, something, whatever. Boat's on the shore. Mordecai will look up at the sky. He can probably figure out about what time it is.
Yeah, it's mid-ish afternoon.
Well, our day's been quite eventful. Quite famished and freezing.
Now you probably need to change of clothes.
If I can afford it.
Shopping spree.
Oh my god, let's go shopping! Oh my god. Cassie and Mordecai and come back with their arms full of bags.
Oh, this is bad.
We spent all the money.
Mordecai's not that kind of gay, I'm kidding.
Oh, we could ask Luke to do that drawing trick that he did.
Oh, good point. Well, I assume we'll head back.
And we'll meet up.
Yeah.
And we're at the bar.
Okay. Well, we'll meet up in a moment because Luke and Riley can still speak to Yeska before heading back.
Mhm.
Yeska, who is in a bed, has got some water and is kind of nibbling on some like hard bread, some hard tack, to try to just like get his strength up a little bit. But this is after maybe an hour. A convenient enough amount of time for you all to meet up eventually. And as you kind of make it to the bedside, Yeska kind of looks up to both of you, almost a kind of a weirdly embarrassed look on his face. But he will just kind of give you a little nod and go back to nibbling.
I imagine Luke kind of leans down to Riley and he'll say, "Do you want to try talking to him, or...?" You're very good in talking to Felix.
Okay. And Riley will take a seat. Yeska?
He nods.
I hope you're okay.
It feels better.
I'm sorry I hurt you.
It's okay. You helped fix it.
We have a few questions. Were you playing hide and seek?
He shakes his head.
Were you trying to leave?
He shamefully nods.
Were you trying to go where the other kids went?
He nods.
He says, we were all sneaking out on the same night. Yeah, I got stuck.
Where were you going?
Away. We were scared. I had these horrible dreams.
Do you remember them?
A little. It was so stupid. We thought we weren't safe here. That Miss Claudia was going to hurt us. We all had the same dream. We thought it was her getting into our brains, trying to poison us.
Luke's head just slowly kind of turns to see if Claudia's anywhere nearby.
She's not in the room, otherwise he wouldn't have said this.
Okay.
I poison you how?
I don't know, that she was making our dreams bad, so I don't know. But we wanted to go.
Away?
We all had that same dream, that there was a place we could go that was safer.
What did that place look like?
It was a great tower.
Was there anything on the tower? A flag? Pretty windows?
It was a great white tower with 4 giant arms.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Do I need to roll, or can I?
I know what it
or can
is.
I deduce?
What is it?
it's a windmill.
I was gonna ask, do they spin in a circle?
Sorry, my
Yeah.
roommate probably thinks I'm getting murdered.
Just by a single.
But when I was under the ground there, I, I didn't have the dreams anymore. And I just thought how stupid it was.
Yeska, you're not gonna have to worry about that anymore. Okay.
Why not?
Because we're gonna go and find where your friends went, make sure that they're actually okay, and if we could find out who's actually causing those bad dreams of yours, we can punish them.
It wasn't Miss Claudia.
No, I know it wasn't. Because I was thinking, and I know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was him.
And he points to the doorway where you see Felix just kind of standing there.
Luke kind of looks back towards Felix.
Who just kind of stands there, clutching his doll
And shrugs.
and shrugs. Yeah.
Are you sure it was him? Are you sure it wasn't someone else?
I don't know about him, but it all started when he got here. And I saw him walking around at night.
Doing anything in particular?
I heard whispers. So I shut my eyes. I heard scratching. Voice weren't his.
Oh, I know what happened. It just hit me.
Elaborate.
If someone's empty, they are a vessel. They are a vessel that can be used.
At least more easily.
Yes. So if he was used as a vessel by someone
Who knows that he's empty?
who knows that he's empty, stares into the camera, and has coerced children that this place is really awful, and hey, come to this cool, awesome place that's better for kids. Cannibalism.
You're like, I knew it!
We
Those
said there
pies!
were kids in those pies.
So, based on my meta knowledge, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Is there anything I can have Luke roll based on Riley telling him about the whole emptiness stuff that he can kind of maybe deduce that might be a plausible?
Roll me a... It's still going to be difficult, but it's going to be an Arcana check. Or a religion check.
They're the same. I don't have any more inspiration, so it's only a 14.
Okay. The emptiness, the soulless nature of people in Barovia is still alien to you. I mean, you get the concept, but it's not something you've ever encountered before. And I don't know how deep your studies went into possession, or potentially possession or anything like that.
Hey man, Abyssal's one of my languages.
Yeah, I took a couple years of Spanish. I don't know nothing about javelinas.
No one does.
Yeah. they're an enigma. But
They're herbivores.
one thing that you know for a fact that you still haven't put your finger exactly on is you have not found the item that is corrupting this place yet.
It's the doll. It has to be the doll. Is it the doll?
That's what Var got the inspiration for.
Yeah. It's fucking Annabelle.
What do you guys mean you
Finally.
don't know what javelinas are? They're fucking pigs.
No, they're not pigs.
They're not actually pigs.
They're
Yes, they are.
herbivores.
They're
not actually
Taisuidae.
They're not.
It says on Wikipedia they isn't.
It says in Google, it says like a rat-like pig, and it says
In
they
any
are...
case.
All right.
So, Luke's eyes focus on the doll.
You guys are cracked.
Because I spent an inspiration, can I refill it?
Yes,
Yeah.
And
since we reached
It's
it.
still a fucking peccary.
Taylor.
Pecorino.
Luke's eyes focus on the doll and kind of glance back to Riley. And he slowly stands. He goes over to Felix and he opens up his hand and he'll say, "So, you still want to be my helper, right?"
He looks at you and he just kind of shrugs.
He's waiting for a verbal response as he has his hand out.
He says,
I don't know what I can do.
You can help me pick out a new doll for you.
he kind of furrows his brows a little bit and he looks down at the one that he's got with an air of, what's wrong with this one?
There's something in that's making people sick. And we don't want to make people sick, right?
People get sick when they're supposed to.
But are they supposed to here?
Yes.
He holds the doll closer.
He smiles sadly at that. Is it because someone told you that they need to get sick?
That it was time for them.
Is that what your friend said? And he gestures to the doll.
He shrugs. He says,
At least that big one.
and he kind of gestures over to Milivoy, who is still, hasn't been moved yet.
Yeah.
He says,
He would have stopped them from getting away.
He nods at that. So, your little friend told you that it was his time. He gestures to, Milivoy.
That he was... He was gonna die.
And that he was keeping people from leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about the tower with the 4 white arms?
We passed by it on the way. It's where the nice lady lives.
His eyes flutter at that. Is that your friend?
he shrugs.
She was nice to me.
And I'm being nice to you. by wanting to get you a doll that isn't going to make everyone very scared or sick.
He just kind of looks up at you, and he looks down at the doll and up to you, and down at the doll and up to you. It takes a very long time as his brain processes all of this.
He's being very, very patient.
Oh yeah, I bet. But he will kind of shuffle forward, and like, it looks difficult for him, but he will place the doll in your hand. And the moment that that doll touches your skin, you get a flash of violence. You see the wolves that attacked you before. You see just screams of horror. You see like an American Horror Story opening sequence, like of ravens screeching.
Mm-hmm.
You see those scarecrows leaping toward you, and then you're back. There is so much evil in this.
He's got like a white knuckled grip on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of sucks in like a shaky breath.
Seriously, fuck this doll.
Look at you. A better doll.
Speaking of a white-knuckled grip, as you grip this thing, you could feel that there's bits in it.
Sharp bits?
Not sharp,
Teeth.
but firm.
Bobinsky.
Teeth.
Yeah.
It's just Bobinsky's rats.
Not Bobinsky. No, get lost.
He
Coraline.
he leans back and he looks towards Riley. Riley, you have a medical knife or something on you.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of, he's still holding this thing with like a really tight grip, but he
Yeah.
turns it over to expose its stomach as if to present something to, do an autopsy on.
The Gilai Bilai Pete's Rats Goo My Can Die.
Not here.
Sure. We can do it outside. Oh. Felix, do you want to come with us to get you a new doll now, or shall we wait until tomorrow?
I'm tired.
Okay.
And you do see, like, it's almost like once you took that doll, this kid took 4 points of fucking exhaustion.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Later then. And
He nods.
he'll kind of pat him on the head. He looks back towards Jespa. I told you, we're going to fix everything. No more bad dreams. No more suffering. No more sickness. And he walks out.
Okay. You make it outside, the two of you. Far enough away from the orphanage to, feel a little bit more comfortable. Riley, are you doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. As you...
We put it on the
Onto the
floor.
No, Luke's going to
Yeah.
hold it because he doesn't want Riley to touch it.
As you kind of plunge the scalpel into this thing and break the stitching along the stomach, what is inside? Content warning: icky,
Woo! Worms.
human
Teeth.
hair, and baby teeth.
Aw.
Can I get a point of inspiration for teeth?
No, because you asked.
Fuck you. You wouldn't have given it to me anyway.
No, I wouldn't have. It was too close. Too close to the event. Yes.
Meanwhile, Mike
Human-
never looks at my messages.
Human hair. I didn't even see you were messaging me.
SMA.
No, wrong. No, I look at your messages and I ignore them.
No, I'm so on point. I'm so fucking.
But yeah, human hair and children's teeth.
Is there anything Jesse and I can roll to kind of surmise what kind of fiendish magic this is?
Roll me a nature check.
It's the bad part of you.
Well, I guess that's not bad. 17. Jesse,
You can both roll it,
roll nature.
or Arcana.
That would've
He
been
looks
better.
like he's trying to brush
would've
his
been better, it's fine.
whiskers.
He likes when I
I
rub
don't
know.
pencil on his face.
That's okay. A little bit. This is dark magic. Obviously, it's fiend touched. It's fiendish in nature. This is what I'm going to refer to as a totem.
We didn't miss the totem, guys.
As a totem,
He saw a
or,
vision of the
On the way.
future.
or as an
That did
effigy.
change.
It's the Wendigos.
It's a totem or an effigy, commonly used in practice by
Witches.
very very evil aligned. We'll call them natural mages, druids, and hags. Some hags can craft things to spread their influence even where they are not, or as spies.
Okay. So that would make sense with this, for sure.
Yes. And with this particular thing, it is still, even though you've kind of disemboweled it here, the evil and the desecration still exists, and can only be removed by the person who created it.
What if we burned it?
You could certainly try.
We'll just come back.
Get to the father.
No, I don't wanna bring
But
that
basically,
bad juju to him.
you can you can see this doll that has been stuffed with these horrible reagents,
These interesting fillings.
these interesting fillings, and your kind of white knuckled grip sort of rubs over the tags
Like a macadamia nut cookie. Just
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
white fillings.
Yeah, and as you kind of like
say that.
grip this kind of burlap little doll, you just see the little tag that says "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
I think this is a modified Blinsky doll, though.
Does it look like it was resewn? Like you can usually tell when something is restitched.
Yeah.
Roll me an investigation check.
Unless
both of you.
unless the hag had mending.
Well, there you go, Riley.
Right. I mean, hey, Riley, you know a suture when you see one. If it was restitched, it was done so expertly. It is not impossible, obviously, that is the thing. It was done so by someone who really knows their way around a suture.
Mother from Coraline.
Riley,
Mm-hmm.
you know how you burned down those bad parents?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like he kind of. I'm assuming we didn't like remove any of the teeth or whatever.
Probably not. No.
I think what Luke is going to do is Luke is going to, knowing that we can't do anything about this until the source is gone, he'll put it in like a satchel, and he's going to force it to stay on his person.
Can't we just
Okay.
bury it?
We tried burying it, burning it, and in the end, we just thought we'd give it away.
I mean,
So that way you're not going to be afflicted with possible visions.
I guess I'm worried that if we bury it somewhere, that if there is someone else who is empty, might be persuaded to go
Find
and
it.
get
Discover
go
it.
and collect
Like a bunch
it.
of funny stuff happens in there anyway.
Yeah, so I feel like Luke's being a control freak here, but he's doing it with the mind of not wanting other people possibly getting hurt. But he'll say, considering the dream pies. And how Felix got to the orphanage in the first place. And he pokes one of the teeth before dropping it into the sack. This. How do you feel about burning down a bakery?
Seems like the right thing to do.
If we don't do anything about this, kids will still have nightmares, and our gravedigger will be dead. This is either a very powerful natural mage, or we're dealing with a hack. Could I discern what kind of hag based off the dream nonsense?
One more Arcana check.
Nope.
No, there are myriad hags in the world. Each of them uses foul kind of shit like this. It's just the method.
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, just her good old friend Baba Yaga.
Oh,
Saying
God.
hi.
She's back.
She's back. We have at least another day before he dies. We either go now and risk the night, or we grab Mordecai and Cassia and we go in the morning.
We need the others to come with us.
Then we reconvene and hopefully that they found the little girl.
Okay. You all make your way back to the Blue Water Inn. Just kind of, it's where you hang out. It's like at least where you're gonna reconvene. If you don't meet each other, you leave a message for each other, that sort of thing. I think Luke and Riley probably get there first, simply because they spent most of their time in town, and there's not a lot of travel back and forth situation happening. But after maybe an hour of waiting and thinking and contemplating, Mordecai and Cassia, you make your way in. What would you like to divulge to each other? We don't have to play it out if you don't want to, but I know that there's a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
Well, Mordecai will whisper and say, "We found the culprit and the girl.
Is she
Culprit's
alive?
been, thankfully,
Good.
withdrawn.
Let me find after some sleep.
And the culprit's been dealt with.
Oh, that's good. Riley and I didn't have as much luck. We have to... Well, we have to go to that old web mill. And he'll pop open the pouch for you to look into it and see the
So that Mordecai can go, ah!
the ripped open Blinsky doll with the teeth and hair in the middle of it. We have a bit of a problem.
It's disgusting.
That's terrible.
Children are having
Kind of
bad dreams.
pulls up.
We have a dying gravekeeper, and I took this from a child who was delivered here by our sweet pie lady.
And?
She's either a natural mage or she's a hag. So,
Did you ask where his toy came from? You could have always had it.
he got it on his way.
From her?
We did surmise that, right? Yes.
That's...
Never did trust her.
I knew trust anyone.
Considering
Now
the
that
bad,
really solidifies it.
considering the bad dreams that the kids had, good dreams I had. We need to deal with this before this boy dies. And like Lou kind of says that with a little bit of emphasis. I don't need another person to die from something like this.
Well, I think it'd be best for us to handle the drug lord as soon as we can.
Yes. I was thinking we would just burn the place down, providing if there's no other survivors.
I find it interesting that this is the point instead of the whole forcing an entire town into an crippling addiction. It'll make us go investigate.
It's either that or they'll release everybody from their addictions. Or they'll go mad further. But no matter, we should go to the windmill to investigate.
Now,
He has
Still plenty of daylight left.
Oh, we got daylight. Fuck it, let's go. I thought it was evening already.
It's mid to late afternoon.
By the time we get there, it'll be spooky evening.
If we do get caught in the dark, I can always make ourselves a camp, or we can make a run for at least the whole Vistani camp.
If you think that's a plausible idea, then absolutely, we should go now. And like Luke kind of like dusts himself off and sits up.
Okay.
yes, we should go now and get it done as quickly as possible. Shouldn't keep him suffering any longer.
Can't be that hard to kill a hag, can it?
Katsu just wins.
Famous
The
last
idea.
fucking words.
I don't think I've ever dealt with one, right?
No, God no.
No, but
Crafty
the legends behind a hag.
I mean, they're bad. But
God, are there multiple hags? She said it was her and her daughters.
so you guys get ready to leave.
Wait, isn't like a group of hags called something?
You guys get ready to leave, and
Fuck.
as you are walking out the door,
I mean,
who should
Michael
stride
did give
in?
you the choice.
Who should stride in? But your good buddy Rictavio.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say somebody else.
No, I know you hate him. But he will say,
Let's get a travel bird.
Right.
Come on.
I look for you everywhere. I sit here. I do not see you for a very long time.
Oh, it's been a few hours. Did you hear the news from the Baron?
I come here for to tell you this. Yes, I hear from him. He say I get to tell my tales to the town. It's wonderful, yes?
Yes.
Thanks.
We all talked to the Baron and insisted that you need to say something. Your stories.
You are too kind, too fantastic friends, all of you, too, Rictavio. Fantastic. You will see when festival come to town. Should be in Yedie now, yes?
Yes,
You
yes, and I'm
feel
afraid that
uncomfortable about what happens at the fair. Please run. Forward. We were listening to all his ideas and they were all dreadful.
Believe me, Rictavio has been in many festivals in his time. It is never to be worse than festival go past Candle Keep. Yes, the whole library very dull. We have to whisper our stories. It's pointless. In any case, you are leaving now?
Yes, there's a bit of an emergency.
I said to...
Rictavio points behind him. You see Riley already gone.
yeah,
he-
Mordecai's gone too. Mordecai's booking it.
he will kind of shout out after you, Mordecai. Well, after the all of you, but Mordecai before you end up leaving, where he just like Mordecai and he's shouting out because he wants you all to know how much of good friends you are to him. He says, "I hope you would sit down and have a drink with Rictavio, but perhaps we meet tomorrow. Yes."
Another time.
Yes, we'll
Yes,
see you
tomorrow.
another day.
Call
My
it,
friend.
Call it a favor.
Ah,
A
yes,
favor?
of course.
Yes, wonderful.
Yes,
Continuous
Yeah.
good father.
I
have to
will write my stories by the moonlight tonight. As you all fucking bolt from the town, basically. What's the? Are you just heading there?
Yeah, man. Let's make a beeline to it.
We're gonna die.
Fucking
We don't
go.
need to make it completely obvious on the onset that we... But she'll know we have the doll. Won't she?
It's time.
Hard to say,
Effigy.
I will say.
Well, either way, we need to act like we don't know anything's going on and investigate. And then wait
Yes.
for a good moment
Looks
to
to
strike.
Riley with murder and fire in his eyes.
Check to make sure that if there are survivors. If there are survivors, we don't burn the place down.
Oh, we have to.
Oh my god. Why?
Yeah, you guys make your way from the town, booking it down the road.
Fucking booking it in heels in this muddy fucking
Yes.
road.
One day we'll buy horses.
Had a horse. Then got bit.
Got
Had a
done
horse,
bit
but now
by
I
a
don't.
wolf.
But
And got bit by a copperhead.
you will make it kind of around the crest of the forest by the time evening rolls around, you know, when old people are sitting down to dinner, and then in a couple hours everyone else will sit down to dinner, and as you continue to follow the road, you will see up on the hill this like alabaster white windmill, with its fans in disrepair, but all in all, it doesn't look too awful. And as you kind of approach the turnoff of the road to make your way up to the windmill itself, Jesus Christ, up to the windmill itself.
I'm excited, God.
Yeah, you everybody roll me a perception check.
I thought you were gonna say roll initiative.
Yeah, no, right, yeah,
roll
immediately.
initiative.
Not yet, bitch.
Natural 20.
Awesome.
20.
Riley doesn't see anything because
Oh,
he
half
is
of us
moving really
passed, half of
fast.
us
Riley's moving with incredible purpose. Mordecai is exhausted. Luke and Cassie, I'll get to you in a second. But as you guys are making your way up this road, it smells amazing. It smells like baking bread and pastries. It smells like sweets and sugar. Even like the grass on this hill seems a little bit kind of nicer than the kind of muddy bullshit
use
in the rest of
fertilizer.
the valley.
Compost.
Yeah, right.
Christ.
And you'll see like a couple of like relatively lush, honest to God, fruit trees on the road up to this place. Well, at least that's what Riley and Mordecai see.
We're like, trees.
Because Luke and Cassia,
We see it through the glamour.
you immediately can see through the illusion.
The music got so ominous.
I
It
mean, this
is-
is Hansel and Gretel.
Just as dead as everywhere else. This decrepit windmill, almost leaning over. It's that kind of old. The fans are shredded. One of them is even broken off and on the ground. It looks like this place has been destroyed for decades. Just marshland and muck all over this area. The quote unquote lush trees are just dead, twiggy. And you see hanging from the trees small wooden effigies, little twig men, little stick figures.
It's the Blair Witch.
Get to
I
stand in the
take one and I get
corner.
possessed.
Down. Yes. Which one of us gets to stand in the corner?
Josh!
I fucking love that movie.
Here's the twist, though. the windmill's
all of us.
round. There are no corners.
Every corner.
But
There
You-
are corners.
All
it's just
corners.
lots of them.
they're all. It's an
There's a
infinite
corner
number
next to
of
the
corners.
fucking oven.
But you make your way up this road, seeing through this illusion, and you do start to smell something, and you do smell like the baking of bread, but you smell something else undeniable, and that is the stench of blood. As you see, perched on a tree, not too far from the windmill itself, you see a single raven that caws at you.
Don't
over
go, bitch!
And as you make your way forward, it will fly away. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
That bird was like, don't
We're
lie.
gonna die.
Thank you all for joining us for Symphony of Sorrow, our Curse of Strahd campaign. A lot of fun stuff happened this episode. A lot of stuff I didn't expect. Some stuff I did not expect, definitely. But yeah, a lot of interesting character moments, and we're going to dive into next session to see how our party deals with Hag on its own turf.
Man, I wish I
With
would have gotten
someone with 1 point
another
exhaustion.
inspiration from calling her a hag right off the back because I need a fucking
Um,
magic card.
No, not because of the magic card art that I used that I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. I'm going to send it to Jesse to take us out properly.
Hello, everybody. It's just about that time where we say goodbye, but not forever, obviously, because we will be back next week. Hopefully, make it and survive next week. But that's a problem for future us. We're gonna do our goodbyes, and the way that we do that is by saying who we are, who we played, and what was our favorite part. Just so that way Michael can brag later on, like, my players like this, because I'm so awesome. That's the whole purpose of it. And we'll start with Michael, since you're rolling your eyes at me.
Hi, my name is Michael. I've been the Dungeon Master here. It was awesome. I thought it was a cool session. A lot of fun stuff. This is I'm quickly realizing that this is a game I have to prep very fucking little for, because the roleplay just happens, which is really nice. I think one of my favorite parts was I'll tell you one of the most unexpected parts was the Bluto situation in my mind. One of my favorite parts was the way that we dealt with Felix. I think that it was very delicate, which I appreciated. The fact that you managed to see through everything that was happening and pretty much wrap up that little hunk of the mystery by the end was really cool. Yeah, there's some very fun stuff happening, and the slightly uncomfortable buddy thing that's happening between Cassia and Mordecai that I'm gonna have to find out how to squash.
Just put Mordecai and Luke in the same room again.
Yeah, it's getting worrying.
Mordecai is very easily influenced by the people around him.
Yeah, bless his heart.
We should murder
Let's just
somebody.
try to make friends, God.
I know, you're right, but
Cassia,
yeah.
Cassia leans over Mordecai's shoulder. We should murder that guy.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
you
need to
should
draw
really
that.
murder that guy. It's shoulders on shoulder. It's shoulders all the way down. But you can join us here next Monday for more Symphony of Sorrow, where we confront or don't our wonderful pie maker. You have to admit that I must have misled you at some point.
I was really confused when the kid ended up at the orphanage, but my instincts were true.
You did call it last session though, that you were like, oh well, he or the other session where it's like, oh yeah, she didn't eat him because he didn't have a soul.
Yeah.
And you're right.
There's nothing good. There's nothing nummy inside of his
There's
brain
nothing
beads.
nummy there. That's right. Yeah, but for her purposes at least.
You see, love is the secret ingredient.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh man, it's like veal. It's veal. Like the fucking fucking pies are full of veal. You can taste the innocence. That's what happens.
It's just Hannibal. Just gotta add some fava beans in there.
A nice Chianti.
Yeah.
But yes, I enjoyed how I played Morgantha, and now that's all over. But I had fun with it. But
Her money.
yeah, she's got money. But you can also
There'll
check
be
me out
lots
on.
of gold.
Yeah, you can also check me
Go
out
on
on
a shopping
Fridays.
spree.
You can check me out on Fridays where I will be here playing in Jesse and Julian's games alternately. That is it for me.
Julian.
Hi, I'm Julian, one half of Jacqueline Hare, and I have played Lucas. Yeah, I definitely liked how each of us kind of handled like our own respective children. And it was definitely, each child was like worlds apart in terms of being very interesting. Well, Felix kind of felt like this puppet, being used for machinations or whatever. Not in reference to the other half-empty person here. But I thought that all the stuff that was going on with Arabella was really kind of offered a lot of really interesting insight. Like, I'm wondering if she's got like some seer abilities in her.
She does.
He does.
Yeah, so like
Alexi said that she sees things.
She knows
yeah,
shit.
so like
Tell us
I'm
in-
wondering, like I don't know if like Michael, and then you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if there's like a list of like helpful NPCs, but I feel like she's like one of them, possibly.
They're not to get too meta with it, but that card that you pulled, which is the
mist.
ally,
Yeah, the
the
ally
mist.
card. She's
Yeah,
one of
you're-
them, right?
Arabelle is actually listed as one of them.
Yeah.
There's a fucking obvious reason I didn't let her be it, because she is 9.
Yeah.
But I'm not only making those people interesting, it's just she happens to already be interesting.
Yeah. Exactly.
Father Donovich was on that fucking list too.
Oh.
Was
And then he killed
Pluto on that
himself.
list?
He was a priest. Oh, Bluto, no.
No, Pluto, no. Okay.
Bless his
Pluto,
heart.
no.
Periwinkle was.
I love
We know
you,
that.
Periwinkle.
Periwinkle's
We're coming
still-
back for
still
him.
alive.
I'm coming back for you, baby boy.
But yeah, that was my favorite part, how we each handled our own children, and sure, let's go back and adopt Felix, and he'll just come with us on all of our adventures, and he'll be like our golf caddy. He'll just hold like our potions.
You mean your
And-
squire?
Our squire, yeah, he'll be our squire.
Him and Alexi, you'll be fine.
Has
Yeah,
Just like poor-
A golf caddy is just a squire.
This is the squire,
Yeah.
you're right.
Felix
And then-
gets an older brother too. It's gonna be.
It'll be
And then
great.
after the after however this campaign ends, he'll be in Valaki too, telling tales like Vasily. It's like, yeah, I used to have these cool people I was squiring for, and then they all died, and so I'm still
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, he'll just say that a lot less eloquently.
Affected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my favorite part. You can find me here on Mondays. You can find me either running a Vampire the Masquerade campaign or playing in a Scion 2E campaign, where very interesting different things happen in both games. Find me on Raid 1's channel. I don't know if we're playing this week. I don't
We are
know.
not.
We are not? Okay. Typically I play on Tuesdays there, and then I also play another D&D game on Guild of the Phoenix, and I don't know what's happening on Guild of the Phoenix on the other Sundays where we're not playing Cyberpunk. But if you like Cyberpunk, Sunday, I play a really weird girl that really makes everyone uncomfortable.
Sort of like how I make people uncomfortable as Riley.
Bless her heart.
Love her.
I literally upset everyone because there was like a talk about, it was like unfortunate that like all these people died, and she went, no, it is fortunate, and they're like, no, I think you're mistaken. She goes, no, they're free. And they were all like, oh my god.
Yes.
Woman. A woman.
That's Ajax's daughter for you. But yeah, that's it for me.
Var.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, tell me more.
Well, Jesse wants me to drown.
Always.
Unlike Bluto, no. I play Cassia this session. I'm biased, and I think the murder synergy between her and Mordecai was fun.
I felt bad for Bluto.
Sorry,
Cassia, do change your alignment to neutral evil.
let's go. I'm gonna be more in tune.
Mordecai,
with my patron.
you're on thin fucking ice, bud.
I'm more aligned with my patron
Fuck
now.
you.
Let's fucking go. Anyways,
Don't say
That's
fuck you.
probably-
You did it.
Mordecai feels weird about it. I will say that. Not like
The
entirely.
fact that
like-
you feel weird about it is why you're still on thin ice and not drowning.
Hang out where I am in chaotic
I
neutral
also
territory.
love the whole tenderness and patience that both Luke and Riley have when it comes to the children. I think that's sweet. And you can catch me playing the other Friday games. I'm both of them. One I'm a Brujah, the other I'm a Scorpion. Think of which fits the best.
Guess which
Fucking
one
guess.
goes where.
And then on Tuesdays, I'm on Marina One's channel. We're not doing it this week, but I play Birdman, mixed stab. Yeah.
Taylor.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm drawing
No.
the devil and
No.
angel.
No.
I was just saying sorry because I was finishing a hand.
No.
My name's Taylor. I played Mordecai. Got some interesting conflicting feelings going on with Mordecai. Like, he's done this before, but he's starting to feel bad about it, which will be explored later.
Maybe it's just
Remorseful
because
later.
maybe it's just because like, you know, like you've done bad things because ACAB, but like when somebody else is more enthusiastic about doing bad things, then it kind of puts it into perspective. Like, oh,
Yeah, that's kind of what it was.
Not that Cassia is like a terrible person.
No.
It's
It's
the
just
patron.
like-
Cassia lives here, and that does something to a person.
She's also a warlock of a weird, creepy man.
There's a creepy ripped lizard who keeps whispering naughty things into her ear.
It's better than.
But,
your dad
Yeah, so we'll be
whispering
exploring
naughty
that soon. Kind of playing into Mordecai's Tarot reading a little bit. But yeah, we'll explore that soon. I'm here, not for both games on Fridays. I'm here for Jebby's game, where I play bad man who's really about to finally do bad things.
Swear to God.
Have you decided who you're gonna try to kill yet out of me or Jay or Johnny?
No,
I do have the chaos purview. That helps.
I mean, I thought the chaos order over chaos was a good line. I was trying to figure out another line for Jay, but I couldn't improv it.
It's like, oh, he's just too dumb and.
I could not
sad.
improv a good like, you know, play
Death
on
face
words.
over heart nose.
It was really tough. So I just
Yeah,
left
no,
it
you're
at
good.
order over chaos, but I tried. I was really trying. My brain was really working hard.
I believe in you. It's okay. My brain was working overtime because I did not plan any of that except for like 5 minutes in advance.
We need an
Um,
adult. We need Kiva.
Yeah, that only happened because Kiva wasn't there. Gonna be real. That's the only time Wiley's gotten away with that shit.
Jay tried to talk both of them down, and both of them were like, whatever, Jay, we're leaving.
He's scared of Kiva though.
That's a lie. Jay was like, might as well face fate.
No, Jay was trying to tell Johnny to
Yeah,
we should go
Jay was
against
saying
it.
you should go against it,
And then Wiley
Wiley
said,
was like-
"Why fight fate?"
Yeah.
and Johnny's like, I don't know. I have two trusted adults that are telling me two separate things.
It's funny the dichotomy between Var's characters and their relationship to fate between this game and Scion.
Uh-huh.
It's fine.
It works.
Mhm.
You play a little bit of both. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jesse, or rather, goodbye, everybody. My name is Jesse. I am the other half of Jacqueline Hare, and I played Riley, who was was going into his mind palace a la Sherlock the whole time. As I was trying to I like mystery stuff, and I like mysteries, so I like trying to solve the logic puzzle. Like, if this, then this, and there's only so many reasons why that would work. So I felt really good when I was like, it has to be somewhere where everybody does the same thing, only to have it, be confirmed. Like, oh yeah, it's on the beds. So that was nice. Favorite part, I would have to say, was knowing that, learning that Mordecai was 2 points away from not saving that girl.
God, yeah, that was a fucking
clutch.
Oh,
fucking clutch. So
Christ.
I was very thrilled. I was like, oh man, Michael has a really good poker face right now. I have no idea what's going on. I only say this because yesterday we had a well, it seems like nothing's there on a perception check, and I was like, oh, there's fucking something there. God damn it,
now we have to go back.
You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those moments in the last session, not to say it's something GMs do all the time, but you had a good poker face, so I was just like, ooh, I don't know.
I was waiting to see if that fucking inspiration was coming out.
I was like, anyway, good shit there. So MVP play there.
I think Mordecai's been in a solid MVP. Mordecai's come in clutch. Like, I'm not even trying to brag. I've rolled really well so far, and it's
when it
scary.
matters. When it matters. Yeah. So. And
I'm not ready for my luck to run out.
I'm just saying that thing came in clutch. I was really happy for that, because that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the girl get saved. That was the thing I was most concerned about. Yeah. And so I was really happy that happened.
That would have been a hell of a start to the fucking episode. Guess what? She's dead, guys. That would have sucked.
So
I would have fought Michael to do spare the dying.
Yeah, you would have, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better.
I get it for free.
Better look up the rules for that one, just in case you can,
make
sure.
It says 3 rounds
to stabilize
underwater.
a character to 0.
But is it PC or NPCs? Anyway,
Doesn't matter. It's
NPCs don't get death saves.
That's why NPCs don't get death saves. So
you touch a living creature that has 0 hit points.
See, the lawyering's already happening.
It has no effect on undead.
And it didn't even happen.
But okay,
I'm right.
That's the thing that was my favorite part. I did enjoy, the brothers doing their thing, and working together in their special ways to try and figure out the Felix situation. And Riley's very uncomfortably upset. But I think he gets uncomfortably upset when he realizes that somebody was lying to him. So, or being unsavory or untruthful. I think that's something that's really bugging him.
Led astray by someone.
Yeah, I don't think he likes that feeling. Because he tries to believe that people are legit and okay. And then when he's wrong, he's just like, I'm upset. I want to set something on fire. But gee, what a nice windmill. He thinks.
It's like, oh man, look at this windmill. Just burn it.
Just gonna burn this nice windmill. And then it just goes up in fire way faster. And he's like, huh.
And Mordecai's like, didn't have fireworks like that. They're just standing there like 2 assholes with their hands on their hips, like fucking supervisors at a fucking construction site.
The way that they it's not the hand on the hip, but it's like the back of your wrist. Yeah,
that's what I was doing.
Anyway, you can find me GMing a game called The Immortal Odyssey. Everybody's mentioned it. Scion, 2nd edition. Players play children of the gods, make the path towards godhood. There was some stuff.
We were told it was gonna be a rough fucking ride.
It's not easy to get to become gods, and
haven't got on the train yet.
And
It
we're
ain't
not
easy being cheesy.
Yeah, it ain't cool all the time. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, I know our game is very fun, but
Especially when
sometimes you
your
gotta.
ex-girlfriend wants to kill you.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened. Anyway, Kiva's gonna come back and be surprised. Whenever.
He was gonna come back and beat the shit out of
I'm
Wiley.
gonna teleport to Kiva and hug her. Be like, save me.
Anyway, that's it. Give us a follow, give us a sub, guys, and we look forward to seeing you next time.